Hello, people.
Hi.
Taking it off.
Oh, actually, I was confused. I didn't know we were live all this time, so I never tweeted.
I
But I'll
told
tweet
you.
now. Yeah, but there's this thing. We're going live, and we're going live. Which you're saying for exactly the same thing, but it's two different things. It's we're going live as in like coming soon, and we're going live as in like hey everyone. So in my brain, I got confused.
Right. You mean as in we're live, as in we're
We need
literally
different
live on
words.
Twitch,
Yeah,
and then the other one is
exactly.
I'm unmuting us basically and putting our cameras on.
Yeah,
Okay.
we need different words for that.
So wait,
We're
you're
live.
saying the
We're
first
live.
time you
Live.
confused me saying we're live as in our cameras are on and people can hear us?
No, I don't
Like you
know.
can't
As in like I'm gonna go live, and then I'm like
you
okay.
can't mix that up.
I'm not awake for a long time. Okay, let's. We're live. We're
uh,
live, live, live.
oh, music, music,
And then
music.
when we
Some
go
music.
offline, we are unlive.
Sure. We are dead.
We're unlive. We're dead.
How's everybody doing? Stream music.
Is everyone live and well?
Wise Costa's wearing a high school outfit. I've actually got something. I don't know where it is. I had something similar.
Also known as clothes.
No, it's the jacket with the striped top sort of thing. Like American. I don't know what it is. Okay, we're in December. Is it time for some Christmassy
I think
music
it's
or
a. I
not?
think it's a college jacket or a high school jacket.
Should I just go for it? Because I'm not going to be able to play it Christmas week, maybe? I don't know. Shall I? What do you think?
Wait, what? What are you
Christmas?
saying?
Not Christmas. Is it? It's December. Should I put
We're talking about
Christmassy
now.
music on?
I like how it explained to me Christmas, not Christmas, with no sentences or verbs when I didn't when I missed everything.
I
I
thought
don't
I
know.
did.
I mean, I don't hear anything you play anyway, so up to the people.
The people. The people,
The
what do
people
you
can actually
think?
hear that.
Well, what did this music sound
Christmas or no
like?
Christmas? Sarah, where are the verbs in the sentence?
Well, it's not my fault you didn't listen to the beginning of what I said.
Yeah, but when I'm asking you what, then you're like, I'm gonna use half the word now.
Yes. How Christmassy was this music? Anime Snowflakes, nice name for a song. What the heck? Anime Snowflakes.
Oh yeah, Aussie's in the weird part of the world where Christmas is hot.
Hey, that was half of my life. Over half my
Yeah, you
life.
were also there half my life. I don't know what to do with this guy. I'm gonna keep drawing him.
I had lunch and now I'm too full. Okay. Concentrate.
I had brunch with no salad.
Oh, so Nevik Link and everybody else, I put in another emote for subscribing, but like I don't know if it works okay or looks okay. It's the T-Rex head. But then the thing is that it's bigger than the smallest size the emoji should be. So then I don't know if it'll come out alright, but then I thought about it. People do much higher res ones, and then when it comes out in low, it looks fine. But maybe there's not enough detail for that. I don't know. What?
Anyone use it in chat? There was no coffee with the girl, and a lot of stuff happened with that. Wait, what?
What girl? What coffee?
I am a bit behind. It's like I missed a part of a sentence. I
I
didn't know it was a
mean,
girl with coffee.
I feel you. I'm horribly depressed, and my life has a lot of stuff on I'm happy about too.
Why is everyone horribly depressed here?
I wish I had a home to go to. Such is life. Life sucks. But yeah, things will get better, never think.
I was supposed to have a coffee with a girl this weekend, possibly. Yeah, I kind of pieced, put the pieces together with that. I
So,
mean, coffees with girls, am I right?
what do you
Can
mean?
even comment on that? I mean, I don't know. You arrange for a coffee, and then they're like, I can't go, and then eventually you have to realize that I don't know. People do their own stuff, and you're like, yeah, whatevs. I'll move on. What can I do?
Yeah, yeah,
You know how many
yeah.
times I got fluked out of this? Four. No, I got more than.
4.
No, it's super annoying. You probably hype it up in your head for like a week, and it doesn't happen. I saw Nathan tweeting that he's been playing games and drawing all weekend, and now he wants to make an adventure game again.
Nice. Neverlink, do you get some time off over Christmas? Also, are you looking forward to Christmas? Because I'm not. I'm like super not in a Christmas sort of spirity mood or anything.
I haven't realized it's Christmas yet. Like, so I put them some Christmas lights and a tiny little. Actually, it's three tiny trees that sort of make up like a
3 trees?
bigger tree. There's three tiny pine-looking trees, which might be pine trees.
Are they real?
That sort of look like one. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you mean are they in my imagination?
Holy
I know
shit.
what you mean.
Are they fake trees or are they. Oh, bloody hell.
Yes, I thought of them.
You only get a day off over Christmas?
Oh wow.
I mean, I literally was like, I can't work for like 2 weeks because I'm on a 0-hour contract, so I can say that. I'm not getting paid, but oh man, this internet, it's red.
But sorry, you're you're going to London.
Yeah, hold
Are
on.
we off? Oh,
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Am I going to London? Yes, I'm hopefully going to London. Hey, Deluxe Tux.
hello. Weird here. I've been sitting in the sun today, and I'm like, "Ooh, it's December for a few days." It doesn't feel like it. I think around like January or February, I'm gonna feel really cold here, but it's not very cold yet. Oh, Never Claims job sucks.
You able to look for another one, Neverclink? Is it easy? I mean, I guess looking for a job is never really easy, but are you looking for another one? Is there anything available? My job sucks. I mean, my job's fine. I just hate. I mean, working in a shop.
Type of job?
I hate. Sorry?
Yeah, the type of job I'm saying.
Yeah, just I freaking hate. I never wanted to do retail again, but like I need the money, and it's the only. This like the closest potential thing I could do around here. Okay, at least you're working on it. Yeah, I hope you're able to find something soon. Because doing a job you don't like is the worst. Absolute worst. I thought I already started doing this animation. I might have lost it. Oh well.
I think the absolute worst is to be doing a job you don't like and your boss to be an asshole as well. I think whatever job you do, if
Yeah,
you have an asshole boss, then it's the worst job ever.
that's true. Uh, also have like barely any friends in IRL. Oh, never blink.
In Ireland,
In Ireland, in real life. Are you being serious? In Ireland. I don't have any friends in
I feel
Ireland.
I just have the same friends since high school.
Try and make some friends. I literally like I have no friends in the area around here. So like earlier in the year, I went on Bumble, which I don't know if that's like a just a UK thing or a everywhere thing. I've no idea. But I went on there like because you can it's I guess
Yeah,
like
you should explain, but
it's a dating
I knew
app.
Bumble differently.
It's a dating app,
Yeah.
but you can specifically look for friends in your like
Yeah,
locally.
it has option for friends and professional for some reason. Why would
Yeah,
you find like a
I
job
don't
through that?
know. I don't know. It's super weird. But anyways, through that, like I found someone who lives not that far from here. Um, well, still it's a 20-minute drive or something. But yeah, she's a really good friend now, and it's just nice to be able to know someone closer. Because like
Yeah, I
especially
had this
with COVID
issue.
and all that, you're just not really meeting anyone new.
Yeah, or going to events.
What?
I had this issue when I moved to the Netherlands that I didn't have any friends, and every time I tried to like go to some event or something, I just didn't like them that much to be my friends. I was like they were cool, but I
You're
didn't
not
get the
cool enough to be my friend.
no, it wasn't that. It wasn't like I wouldn't hang out with these people. Is my point. It would be fine for a drink, but then I would be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
Like when someone is your friend, they just like you laugh a lot and stuff, or
yeah.
talk about stuff that you're excited. With them, no. And then I was like, yeah, fuck this. It's like it's not like you can be like, please be my friend. Like you have to. It has to happen naturally
Please be
somehow,
my
or you have to
friend.
go to, or you have to go to like places where you have common hobbies or stuff like that. And it wasn't happening for me, and I was kind of like annoyed because I didn't want to like make friends just to make friends, but what the fuck is wrong with this tablet now? Huh?
Bumble exists. Try Bumble then. I don't know what it's like over there for like friend finding, but I don't know. There was a bunch of people on it that I guess it's like with dating apps too. I've never used them before, but you'll start talking to someone
I have.
and then it'll get to a point where then they just ghost you. And it's just freaking friendship, it's not even like anything else. But even some people where you thought you were getting on with them really well and then they just start ghosting you.
Talking about a friend app or a
Bumble,
dating app?
I've never used dating apps before. I'm saying I guess
Okay.
it's like that because I'm sure people ghost people there, but like with a dating app, there's a romantic sort of inclination involved, which I can guess that if you really don't like the person, you don't really want to say
So you
no to them,
mean
and you just
ghosting
ghost
makes
them.
more sense?
But
You
on
saying ghosting make more sense on the dating
yeah,
sphere instead of the friend sphere? Yeah. Okay.
friends to me it's just weird to like just suddenly start ghosting someone.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, I don't know. But it's weird
Well,
because I spoke
maybe
to a lot of people on there, and there's only one person came through. You know.
maybe it's equally hard to say I don't want to be your friend. Thanks. I don't know. Then like
Yeah, no, I guess it's kind of the same thing. Deluxe ducks. I miss elementary school where you can give another kid a cookie and say, "Be my friend," and it totally works.
I mean, for college was kind of easy for us to make friends.
Well,
Maybe
that's the thing. Like education
for
sort
me
of
it was.
systems is like you're put in a situation with people who are the same age as you. As far as university is concerned, you're put in a place where people have the same interests as you to some degree. It's a lot easier to make friends that way.
I think it's not exactly that though. It's like it's also a place where you have common interests.
That's what I
Like if we go
said.
to like a games like when we went to a games festival like Adventure X, we made a lot of friends, but that was because
I
we
didn't
we
make
we had
any
the same interests.
friends. You did. I'm not good at
Well,
making
what do you mean?
friends
Like
at all.
Nathan, and you had
Oh, all
said
right.
that you're
Sorry,
friends
I thought you
before
meant more
me, and
recently. Yeah, okay. I thought you meant like the
no,
last one when you were there. No, that's true.
no, I mean like in general, like we made friends, or like when I go to
Yeah.
film festivals, I inevitably make some friends there. So I think it also
Well,
boils
actually,
down to going to
true.
like a place where
I
people have the same interests, like
yeah.
university, for example.
Yeah. I've got a friend. Why is this not pasting? I don't know what's wrong. Um, I have a very close friend of mine that I met through a Churches concert, as in the band Churches. I I got excited that they were on tour. I bought two tickets, one in Brighton to go with a friend of mine, and then one in London, and I had no one to go with. So then I realized my cousin liked Churches as well. So I tried to get an extra ticket for her, and I came across this one person on Facebook who was selling a ticket. So I told him I was interested. And And then my cousin flaked out on me and said, "Oh, actually, I've got a work due that I need to go to." Like, surely she would have known that beforehand. But so then I had to tell this guy, "Oh, like I'm really sorry, I don't really need it anymore because my cousin flaked out on me." And he said, "Oh, do you want to just go together anyways?" Which is like super weird for me to go with a stranger. We're both going to be there anyways, and there's loads of people. So yeah, I went along, and then we got on really well, and have been really good friends ever since. It's just, yeah,
Nice.
I'm not good at making friends normally, but like that's because like it's hard for me to meet the right kind of person that I
Yeah.
just naturally get on with really well.
I remember I was in when I was in the army, because you meet a lot of people who are like around your age. I just remember back then, like that I had a couple of people that I was laughing a lot at their jokes and stuff like that. So I was hanging out with them, and I remember mentally thinking like, "Oh, I'd like to be a better friend to that person. Like, I'd like to spend more time with them." And I actually did eventually, and we became friends. So that was kind of cool.
Nice.
It's just felt a little weird thinking like, I want this person to be my friend.
Give them a cookie.
I was giving myself a lot of cookies. That's why I became so fat when I was there. I've also drifted apart from most of my friends, but that's probably because of COVID and not being able to go out or do events together like that often. It's since the pandemic that I haven't seen like some people. I don't know. This guy looks okay now.
Yeah. Why am I working on the different screen? I'm so confused.
That was a fun adventure extreme last time.
It's flippin' stressful for me, but yeah. Yeah, what the heck? I've drawn this already. I think I didn't save it when I shut my computer down.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, run back. I
So
think.
it
I don't know.
also took you like half an hour to realize that you've done it before.
Well, I've been talking and finding my files. I had a feeling I had done it already. Oh yeah, friend crushes. I've had those.
Fat in your heart, you're gonna have a heart attack. Friend crushes, I had those. Yeah, it's funny. um, I had this Sunday for the first time. I had like people invited in my house. I
For
think
the
for the
first
first
time
time, as in
ever.
like for the first time since I had my fucking house renovated and it looks like a house, so I can have guests over, and that was nice. And we cooked foods and stuff, and it was nice. There was brownies, there were sloppy joes, there were ice creams. There's this thing which I'm not sure what you call it. It's like lasagna, but it has a potato base at the bottom.
Mm.
Does it have a name? It was almost like a pizza, but with potatoes and sweet potatoes, because it had cheese, bacon, and it had like a crust on top, like lasagna have, like bechamel. What is this creamy
Yeah,
thing called?
bechamel. I can't.
Yeah, like Pastisio has it, and
I,
yeah.
there probably is a name for it. I can't really think. I don't know.
I had to cheat, and my cheat day was 2 days instead of one. Deluxe says, in college there was this one girl in my class who was so incredibly charming and talented with all the same interests I had, and I knew we would be good friends. I ended up hosting a radio show with her for a while, and it was fun. I did capoeira in our college for a year. It was probably the first year, Sarah. When I we haven't met then, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. We haven't met who?
Like in college, we met in the second year.
Who?
I mean, we didn't talk. Who is what? What are you talking about?
You said we
What is
didn't. We
who?
didn't met. You said we didn't meet them.
Never said them.
Oh,
I just said we didn't meet. We haven't met.
yeah, we
Full
did.
stop.
We were on the same course for
Yeah, I know,
like.
but we weren't talking.
Oh, I have no idea.
I think we started talking the second year.
No idea.
So in the first year, I was doing capoeira in college. That was
No, we
an
must
event
have.
where you could meet people.
We must have spoken because I remember the whole thing about how it was the group project.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, all that. That was first year.
yeah, I was, but I don't know. We weren't really talking in the first year.
Yeah, because I fully I don't think I would have even really noticed like you guys' group and how you guys weren't.
How can you not notice our group with tires in it?
How you guys were also shouldn't have been given the same grade.
Yeah, that was,
and you weren't, from what I remember, but we were on my side.
I was the only one who worked. Harry a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, see, I remember that. Oh, for
Your
God's sake,
classes
these
didn't make you do
legs.
stupid icebreakers. They're all the rage in American colleges. Oh, what, like what? Like, hello, I'm this person. I mean, the icebreaker was most of our classmates' faces.
What?
Because that was an animation college, so we had a lot of people who were like, "Ooh, I'm an animation student."
What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know what's we had fucking weird looking people in our class who were dressing like weirdos. That's my point, because they were an animation college.
Okay, that's not their faces though.
Well, if you, I don't know, if you have like weird hats, then it is your face.
Cool. Okay.
I don't know why you don't agree. I totally agree with me. Try and draw some other person. Black says the Ruffle, the name game, Two Truths and a Lie, the Skittles game. There's a ton of awful ones. Oh, this sounds horrible. Are you still around, Nevik Link? Back me up on this. It's not like I don't believe you. It just sounds really weird. Where did I see this? There was like some TV series or some movie that they were doing that. And a really weird introduction thing. This guy can go away. Oh no, I can hear some thunder. Okay, let's see. I'm not gonna draw this guy. All his poses are the weirdest. One of the backers. He doesn't have one straight pose where he's just standing without other people in front of him.
Okay, but luckily most humans are shaped kind of similar.
Yeah, also most humans, I don't know. He wears like a lot of clothes on him, so I can't really see his body type exactly. I just have to guess. He doesn't show any of his legs. So I'll just have to use my imagination a little bit. I'm better than the guy who only uses one photo of just his face. The log says, for instance, the Skittles game. Oh no. The teacher at the beginning of class hands out candies, and you can take as much as you want. The rub is that you later find out that you have to share one fact about yourself for a piece of candy you've taken. How about you give it all back? Be like, how about your first?
I would have taken none because I don't like sweets.
But the first clue is I like candy.
Oh, you quite alright, Ozzy.
Ozzy, tell us one fact about yourself. I'm clinically insane. Thanks, Ozzy. Let's try and draw this guy. No, wait, I'll draw one of these pictures as I see it. Let's explain to everyone. His suit doesn't help me, but sure.
Sorry. It's contagious.
Seems like Ozzy can't stress this enough. I see everyone's doing fantastic today. On this fine December Monday. No one's doing finer than this guy I'm drawing.
The first two on-stream sneezes we've had, and they were back to back. I tried to mute mine. I normally mute, but my microphone doesn't
Sorry.
like the.
I didn't realize
thing.
Sarah sneezed. It just sounded like someone came from behind her and said something in the.
That's why I said it was contagious.
In my defense, I've been sneezing all day, so I don't know what Sarah's been doing.
Not sneezing until now.
I was crazy sneezing most mornings for some reason. It's normal for some reason for me. Of sneezing fits.
Then we're gonna start yawning. Ah, good to hear you're doing great, Deluxe Tux.
Oh yeah, you did your booster shot. Actually, I just found out that they said here you should be doing your booster shot 3 months after the last one. Is this a thing, or is our government just being insane?
Only 3 months?
Yeah.
So I should have had mine a while ago, I guess.
Yeah, but is this just my Greek government saying that, or is
I don't
someone
know,
else in the world saying that? That's why I'm wondering.
I don't. My Greek government. I don't.
Yeah, because they're
like.
that's my only source at the moment.
I don't
like,
look into these things.
Scientific information.
But maybe I should. Since I'm going.
Because they were saying 5 to 6 months before, and that seemed logical to me. And now they're saying 3 months, do it now. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know.
Great.
I didn't even think to check. I don't even know if I can now. You made me concerned.
passing down information.
So stupid at work. There's a raffle ticket thing that's going on at the moment for
A
charity.
what?
A raffle ticket.
Okay.
You know, you spend like £1 to buy a ticket, and then you have a chance to win a hamper full of loads of food stuff from our shop, basically.
Okay.
And the money all goes to charity. So it's been going on for a bit. I don't offer it to people on the till just because like I haven't got around to doing that or like forget to. But we've been asked now to offer it at the till and tally up, so like keep track of how many that you sell, so you can put it on a list of everyone else, and the person who sells the most wins a prize. But that's so unfair because some people work there full time. I work there 2 days a week, and sometimes you're not even on the till. Like you're barely on the till compared to some people who are on the till all day. So how is that fair? I refuse to do it. I will offer the raffle tickets on the till because it's for charity, but no way am I counting. Don't you think that's unfair?
Sounds like
Costas?
unfair rules.
Unfair rules. It's just an
What?
unfair thing. Don't create competition where like it's not fair grounds for people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. UK COVID booster.
Basically, how soon should you get your booster shot? Is my question. Like, the Lux how soon did you get yours since last time?
It says here all adults to be offered the boosters by the end of January. So I haven't been offered it yet. So I feel like.
Yeah, that's different though. I mean,
So I don't think for me, I don't think I can do it yet.
we have been offered our booster shots here, so I should look into this.
Right. Let's switch this off again. Yeah, so I've been off work for a while, and I'm going back on Wednesday. So that's what I'm going to say to my supervisor. I'm going to be like, nah, I'm not doing that. I just think that kind of thing is shit anyways. It's kind of okay because it's for charity, but like in my previous job, you had to sell things that people didn't want on the tills.
Okay.
Yeah, they're buying something
Like what?
anyway, so why are you trying to force them to buy something else that they probably don't even need? And then, but that's what you had to do. You had to offer it to every single customer. And that was also a thing where like the person who sells the most gets some kind of prize. Luxx got the shots in April and May, and then the
May.
booster Thursday, May, June, July, August, September, October, November.
See, that's a pretty. That's like what, 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. Yeah, 3 sounds pretty short. Is that what you said? 3?
Actually, 7 months. 7 months for you. Well, I've read first that
No,
after
3.
6 months, your booster goes like the effects go away or something. The spell goes away.
It's like 6.5 months or something.
Yeah, and now they're saying, yeah, do it after 3. I'm like, what? It's feeling pretty awful on Friday, and I was kind of sore and tired all weekend, but now I'm doing better.
Nice.
Yeah, it's. So now, yeah, I'm not sure if. Wait, actually, let me Google it. How soon third boost? Wait, third booster. So if you received this or Moderna, wait, I didn't receive either. Maybe the AstraZeneca one that no one that has been discontinued now. What I don't know what's going on with it.
Oh, really? So what happens if you had AstraZeneca?
I think you had just Pfizer or something. Yeah, recommendations. Either Moderna or Pfizer vaccines may be used as a third or booster dose.
So what did you have?
AstraZeneca,
You had AstraZeneca. Okay.
2 doses. Yeah. The minimum interval should be 28 days. They say. Oh, interval between the 2 shots. What do they mean? No, wait. The entire recommended interval between the last shot of the initial primary series and the third dose is at least 2 months. Huh. Okay.
Interval. It's like a gerbil.
Interval. Making fun of my pronunciation. It's 2 months, they say. Okay, so
Oh, so 3 is fine.
that is a hell government of Canada thing I'm reading.
Oh wait, so was that T-Rex emoji okay? Did the quality look okay? Did you see?
It looks like a T-Rex emoji.
Okay.
I'm feeling. No, wait, I read that.
Whoopsies.
We're running out of outfits for the village people. Our village people, not the band.
I mean, oh, don't worry too much.
Class. I can't breathe this beer.
So, wait, hold on. Sorry, what did you say? My stream's gone red.
Just threw a dry line on Flash and the usual bullshit. Just my whole drawing disappeared.
Oh, can you not undo?
Then I had Control Z. Yeah, I can, but it's just like, why the fuck is it doing it?
Ridiculous.
What? My
Yes.
drawing? Or?
No, this. The child running on my screen.
Let me see. One of the animates.
Is it playing?
Not yet.
Crazy delay.
Yeah, it is. This would look really funny.
Yeah, but
The
it's
game.
5 frames and not 3. I'm hoping it works fine. We'll see. I'll put it into AGS and see what happens.
Wait. Did you change the frame rate,
Did I change the frame rate?
or were you following mine?
I'm following yours.
Okay. Wait. I thought I kept it the same.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna as well, but it's got 5 different frames on it.
Wait. Aren't the other kids 5 frames too?
No, they're 3. They should be 3. I think
I'm
I
so
deleted
confused.
one from the girl because it's meant to be 3.
Okay.
Don't know about the other guy. I don't know. I don't have him here. But yeah, I made hers 3.
How is she only 3 frames? That sounds insane. Oh yeah, I remember you. I remember. I told you to remove one of her frames where she's bouncing because it didn't need to. Either actually, I told you she didn't need to jump up that high because, right?
Yeah, we made it all on the same level or something. Yeah, and I think I did it in the version that's on
Okay.
AGS. I edited the actual thing that was exported.
Second.
Oh, I wanted to go and get a drink. Okay.
Be right back. Coffee mate.
Mm, ba- 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 ba. I wonder if I can delete some frames. Also, he shouldn't be jumping up and down, should he? Okay. What did I do to the version that's in AGS?
Hello.
That's the version that's on AGS. Can you
Happened?
see it? Is it taking forever?
No. Yeah, it's taking forever. I don't even see you being an AGS.
Oh, no, not in
Oh, is this
AGS.
okay? Is this a loop of her hands going super fast? Yeah. Okay.
That's the version
Or-
that's on AGS. Well, yeah, there's no timing on it. That's why
Okay.
this looks dumb. So for this guy as well, I need to make him.
I mean, hopefully it's gonna work, right? I don't know. I'm guessing.
What, having 5 frames instead of 3?
No, having her stay static like that.
We tried it already. It works.
Oh, we tried
Do you
it.
remember
Okay,
we
I don't
put it in
remember.
AGS? Yeah.
No, I don't remember. I
It's
remember the
just
bad version, the really good version.
I'm not too sure about having 5 frames, but we'll see. Especially because the timing's going to be different.
It looks fine on them.
If we haven't seen it in AGS yet, though. Right, I'm gonna go get myself a drink. Be
Okay, bye.
right back.
Hey everyone, let's get this party started.
Hopefully stream doesn't die whilst I'm done. Okay, be right back.
So I'm doing this backer guy who has a lot of pictures wearing some traditional clothes of some face is pretty characteristic because he has long hair and a beard. Other than that, maybe we should just like start drawing him. He smiles a lot and poses a lot. So I don't know what to do. One of his faces. I don't think I'm gonna get anywhere else with that. Just start drawing his character now as a villager. Okay, let's do it. Nope.
I brought a cat back instead of a drink.
Oh, you can drink that then.
And I can't hear what you're saying, by the way.
You sound like you're
I'm
speaking
having a
from a
little snuggle.
tube. You miss your nice kitty that you were away? Also, you
What?
said you can hear me, so. Did you miss your nice kitty when you were away?
Did I miss my nice TV? Oh, Kitty. Yes. Yeah. I did miss her.
Yes, your TV.
And she
Don't
missed
forget
me.
about
I
that.
can't hear properly. I don't have my headphones on.
Did you pet your TV?
You can't be. You wanna get down? You wanna get a drink? You wanna get a drink? She's like taken to, she never used to like being picked up. But now she just like slumps down in your arms and like enjoys it. Right, should we go get a drink?
Leafy trousers with vines as suspenders. Not a bad idea. Yes. Suspenders, vine suspenders. Alrighty then. The generic body. I gotta do 4 more of these. Actually, my point is I have to do 1, 2, 3, and then a fourth guy. And then I have to animate them. Oh, man, we need the. Ooh, hi, Jin. I'm here just chilling with my chair. All the ladies love my generic body with vine suspenders. Guys, I need to make I need to make a Theropods Kickstarter update because I haven't for ages and people want one. Haven't made one since summer. Not sure yet what to do one about. I was thinking of doing one basically on puzzle design and maybe taking the demo as an example and start to analyze the thinking behind the puzzle design. But would that ruin the demo for some people, or would they not care? I don't know. I mean, also, it's not per se an update video. I'm just doing like little videos about our game design process, and then cramming in some updates in it. So yeah, you could say, but Costas, this is not an update. This is you talking about game stuff. To be fair, like you've been like mostly Deluxe Lux, I guess, has been here all the time. You've been watching our progress. What was it like? This time we spent 3 weeks doing this animation of this guy and talking about. What were we talking about? That was my latest rant. Donuts? I don't remember. I do have an update, but I don't know what to do it on. But also, I don't want to not do one because that's annoying for people.
What's annoying? I'm back, by the way. Hello, Costas in chair.
I back.
Oh, sorry about my shitty internet.
Saying that we have to do an update, but I don't know what on.
Um, could do one on the backers designs. What do you call them? Villagers. At some point. Probably when we've got
I
had them
mean,
done.
we could add this to the update for sure, but
I think it might be quite cool to do a whole
well,
video just on it. Is it gonna fit?
yeah, I don't know. Update. We're still working it exactly. I think breaking down the demo puzzle is fine and non-spoilery. Yeah, I was saying if people would be interested in like me breaking down the puzzle for the demo to, because basically I can start the update
Do you
saying
mean the
that
old
we've
demo?
completed. Yeah, well, the current demo, the hunt.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Um, the problem is that I've written shit tons of puzzles, but I can't update anyone on that. But I can like talk about our approach and puzzle design and take this as an example instead of me spoiling puzzles that no one has played yet.
Yeah?
That's one of the the reasoning behind me trying to think. Like there's updates, but you can't hear about them because it's all like in my notebooks and stuff. But if I try and follow my process for like puzzle design and like go back to the demo and say, okay, here's the obstacles, here's the problem, here's the puzzle dependency chart showing you how dense or simple or linear the puzzle is. I mean, I could have a disclaimer. This is gonna spoil the puzzle, but whatever.
Yeah. Definitely disclaimer.
And also, I think, Sarah, what I'm gonna do is, unlike last time, I'm just gonna use my camera for only intro, outro, and some in between stuff, and then the rest is gonna be voiceover.
Yep. Ugh, we're back.
Okay.
You wanna come back in? Come here, Carol. Carol.
I'm very sensitive to spoilers, but even I don't mind if there's a warning, so I know not to read it. Yeah, the spoiler is basically about the demo puzzle. Like the demo has been out for 2 years. That's my. If you haven't played it, then it's a spoiler. But if you go and play it and then come back and watch it, it doesn't spoil the rest of the game. That's my point. So I'm not gonna be spoiling any of the game. I'm just gonna be spoiling down how this puzzle works.
So you could, you could like spend 20 minutes playing the demo and then go back to the video and watch it. My point, if you haven't played the demo. I should explain that better before my disclaimer.
Okay, I'm back. Cat was meowing outside the door.
Okay, now it's my time to go away since you go away all the time. Now it's my time to go away and get my coffee because if you were away, then I couldn't go away because there would be two chairs and Jim would come and be like, "Hello, it's Sarah and Sarah." Here's back.
Yeah, I hate spoilers, but as long as you are warned, I think it's okay. Right. Okay, I think I'm going to take this animation and see if it works first. Share stream. My internet's awful today. I should have reset the router before we started.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Share
Okay,
stream.
so like, do I the boy running? Do I not make him jump,
Do I the
or is
boy?
he fine? Sorry.
I would say if you make him jump, he's gonna look like he goes like. Basically, I made a mistake because I didn't think that going up and down would be would affect this, but because going up and down covers less distance than going left and right. So when it jumps up and down, it looks way more jerky
So do I
in the
still make
final
him
thing.
jump, but like not as high, or what?
Yeah, I would say make him. Oh wait, how long does he jump?
How long does he jump? I don't know, because now
I mean,
like, does
do
this
you
look
wanna?
okay?
Is this gonna take ages for you to try this and then remove him? Oh yeah. Oh, it's way too high. Yeah. Okay, let's see the new one.
Yeah, I've updated it.
His head doesn't go up anymore, but yeah, I see.
His head doesn't go up anymore? What do you mean?
Wait, I'm waiting for the thing to catch up.
Oh.
Did you? Oh, yeah, it looks fine now.
I think it should be okay. It's like, it's not
Yeah, you made,
drastic.
because my fear was like if the head wouldn't move at all like the girl before, it would be nice to move a little bit like it does now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so cold. Oh. Just grabbing on my mug, my hot mug. Not my face, my mug. Maybe it's a good time to start watching Christmas movies. I think I was saying that last year, how I got a bunch of Christmas movies ready to watch, and I didn't watch any of them last year. Because I'm always like super slow for Christmas to start, and then by the time I realize it's Christmas, Christmas is gone. Doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who start their Christmas spirit in November. I'm like, yeah, I'll wait a little bit. And even now it feels early for me. Well, technically it's only 2 weeks away and a half.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Well, it's weird because you're hyped up for a holiday, and then like the Christmas time should last what, a month? No, Christmas is on Christmas. I don't have time to watch all these movies, so I'll start soon.
Santa Claus conquers the Martians. What the heck is that?
Sounds like a Christmas classic.
Sounds amazing.
Wait, let's see. Oh, that actually exists. It's a 1964 movie? What the fuck? 2.7 out of 10, it says. It's like a Concord
2.7
movie
out
too.
of 10, that sounds
I've-
good.
I've never seen 2 points. I've never seen anything under
What is
3
the
in like
room got?
IMDb.
What's the room got?
What?
What score does the room have on IMDb?
What is the rim?
The
I don't know
room.
what the rim is.
The
Oh, the
room.
room. The rim. Okay. It's
I
from
didn't say
Australia.
the room.
I don't know, but the room is beloved, so it couldn't be that bad. So it's more than that, though.
It has more.
It's 3.7. The other one
How?
was 2 point or something.
What the
Well, I
heck?
mean, Battlefield Earth has 2.5. Oh, really? I mean, I knew it was a bad film, but not for 2.5.
What? Where's my...
Didn't even know there was a. I've never looked at the section of MDB where it's under 3 or 3 and less.
Where did I save this? What the heck? File?
Guys, I
save.
think I told you I'm in a movie club, or to whoever I told before. And now we're doing a Secret Santa thing where we are picking movies that the other person is supposed to like. But I think we have like a super weird point system where your goal is for the person you put the movie for to like it, but also everyone's guessing who you put it for, but you don't want everyone to guess it right away, so you're kind of like secretly staring people. Basically, the more people I find, the more points I get. That's the main thing.
And
If I
then
find
what?
like this film is for that person. But anyway,
What do you get for getting the most
and
points?
then the person with the most points wins.
Wins
Nothing,
what?
but I have this.
Imaginary trophy.
You win the most points. You just win the thing. But the thing is, it's mostly psychological because last time I'm against a friend of mine and she won last time by 1 point, and me and her we were so far ahead from everyone else. It wasn't a competition. It was just me and her. And this time I need to fight back and win this. So she's my main reason is winning her. So
You want to win her as a
basically,
prize? So I'm joking.
win against her, but
Yeah.
the guy that I have for my Secret Santa, he's very lame. But what I know about him is that he really likes Nicolas Cage movies, right? So I was thinking of picking Mandy, if you guys have seen that or not, because I really like this film. It's not an amazing film, but it's a unique film. So I can tell if people not liking it and liking it equally. But I don't think this guy's not gonna like it because it's Nicolas Cage and he plays really well in this too. So that's my bet that no, most people are not gonna find out who it's for, but he's gonna like it. Deluxe Lux from Amazon, renowned as a holiday cult classic, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians tells the story of the depressed children of Mars. I like how the full stop is there. To bring them out of their funk, the Martian leaders travel to Earth and kidnap two local kids and Santa himself, forcibly installing them in a factory to make toys. But
What?
you can't manufacture happiness, and Santa must teach his alien overseers the true meaning of Christmas. Wow, that's the
That
worst idea
sounds
for a Christmas movie ever.
amazing.
This sounds like something you would come up now that every single Christmas movie has been made already, but it's the 60s, so you still had options, clearly. Also, my point is, like, how do you pick a better Nicolas Cage movie than, like, I don't want to go too crazy, I don't want to go too 80s. So I thought Mandy was, like, one of the good options. I was considering Bad Lieutenant, if anyone has seen that. But,
A bad
I didn't like
lieutenant. No, wait, what
I
was
didn't like
it?
it that much.
How did
Ooh,
Dave
hello,
spell
Francisco.
it? Oh,
Oh, lieutenant. No, lieutenant.
lieutenant,
Bad.
lieutenant.
Dave was with his lie. Wait, what was the other thing he kept writing? In the game.
Did he?
What was that word he kept using that I was using all the time?
Oh,
As is my want.
oh,
No.
once, yeah.
As is his want. Yeah, I loved reading that and adding a little bit more wants in there. Oh, it's want with an O, right?
It's won't, yeah.
Oh, Francisco, you missed us playing Adventure X games on Friday. That was fun. Making the developers hate me with talking crap about their games.
Damn it.
Live.
I'm trying to test the little boy's run, but there's not enough space in this background. Oh, there
It
we
doesn't
go.
go up and down. You mean?
He did it just now. Come on.
I'm waiting for it to catch
Oh,
up.
shit. Come on.
He's going left still. Like
There
how
you
we
go.
did
He
this
does
and
it a
it's
little
super
bit.
sensitive.
It seems to work
No,
to
it's not doing
me.
it still. For me, you just keep walking left and right and he doesn't do it at all.
He does it. He's
Oh,
done
there
it
we go.
twice. He's done it twice.
Why is it so sensitive though?
Sensitive.
I like it.
Oh no, it's only
I like how
because
but I think if you go to the square though,
I can't. He's not gonna. I don't think I've set it up for him to follow me, or like to come onto the next background. Yeah, he's
I
stuck.
think if you go to the square though, there's way more up and down.
What is the girl
Maybe.
doing? Why is she jumping up and down? I didn't tell her to. Look at look at her. Well, these children are so not well behaved. They're so not well behaved. Can you see her?
Unwell-behaved.
Can you see her?
No, I'm waiting. No, I'm waiting for it to catch up. Wait. Ah!
I don't know.
Guy, the thing.
I
Oh,
don't
you
know
made it sound like
why.
she went insane. Yeah, she looks okay.
What is she doing?
Well, because I think you programmed her to jump up and down after you find her. So she's like, yeah, there I am.
But I
Also,
haven't.
you put her there like she's hiding horribly. So it's kind of funny.
But I haven't clicked on her yet. I haven't found
Oh.
her, so it shouldn't really have done that.
Zoom says kids never do what they are told.
Okay. And also I don't know why the little boy is there twice. Okay.
Why is
let's
just happy
close
to be
this.
there? Whew.
Hey Cora, how you doing?
Hello.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
Mystery. Oh,
It's
it's
not
on
a bug,
Mystery
it's a
Science
feature.
Theater.
Oh, it was on that. That was funny. Okay. Background.
I don't think I've ever seen Mystery other than YouTube clips. Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I think I saw it on television when I was younger on like the Sci-Fi Channel, but I didn't really understand it.
Isn't Felicia Day on it like
The
bunch?
newer one, yeah.
Especially the new ones.
Chapter 1. There's a new season on the way.
Didn't they Kickstarter it or something?
Okie dokie. Read.
Okay, what was I doing during this guy? From whatever memory.
Why the heck is the child there
It's,
twice?
Jumping and roulette time in chat. Flipping hook?
Ba-ba-da-bum. Okay, so if you interact with the reed, she walks up to it, and then she reaches out towards it, and then the reed goes to view 95, whatever that is. View what? 95. Which is this one. Then it animates that. And then it animates that. And then it becomes not clickable anymore. And then it's meant to be not visible anymore, but it stays visible, I think. So what if I... Sorry, were you saying something?
I wanted to say, I don't want to throw you off concentration. Since we had a question about, which I'm trying to remember, about publishers and how they... it's a generic question, it's not very specific. I was thinking of asking Francisco since we have him here. About... what was it exactly about publishers getting their cuts? But,
wait, who asked it?
If they get it out of the... I asked
Oh,
you,
okay,
or
okay,
we
okay,
were
okay.
talking about
Yeah,
it.
I
We
got
were thinking
you.
of asking some
I've got you. I'll
some game
try and load it.
developer who's actually worked with publishers. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Vertex Prime. So
so
what was it? Because I want to ask
so
Francisco now. It wasn't
when a
anything specific
publisher
to say.
takes, let's say, a 50% cut, I thought it was out of the full amount that you get from Steam. So let's say you get £1,000 or $1,000 from your game. Just because it's easier to work out that way, maybe. My stream is red. Okay, $1,000. Steam takes a 30% cut. So that's $300, right? Then I thought that the publisher takes 50%, so that's 500. So this is going to be easier to work out for me, leaving 200 left over. But I don't, like, recently someone said that it works differently, that Steam takes their cut first, so they take $300 from your 1,000, leaving you with 700 left over. Then your publisher, who's made a deal with you for a 50% cut, then takes 50% of what's left over, so they take 350. Is that correct or not? And then you get 350 as well.
I think Steam first takes their... I don't base it on anything, but I think Steam first takes their cut and then everyone splits it. I feel like.
Yeah, see, that makes more sense, but I never thought about it that way. No one's ever tried to explain it to me, or like just the wording of it, that publisher takes 50%, sounds like it's 50% of a whole.
Of the 100%.
So it's split up, that Steam gets 30, publisher gets 50, and then we get 30. But I don't think it's like that. I think it's 50-50 of what's left over after Steam takes their cut. Does anyone else know like, if that's correct?
And then the money you get, they call it... what do they call it? Revenue?
Money.
No, gross revenue?
Oh, flip, I don't know. That confuses me. Maybe.
It's basically...
The publisher's FAQ?
No.
Where do you find the publisher's FAQ?
I don't think it comes down to the publisher, because I don't think the publisher even like talks to Steam. Steam just like says automatically, I take my money, do what you want now.
Yeah, it makes full-on sense that it's a percentage from what's left over after Steam takes their cut. That makes sense. I just never thought of it that way.
I'm asking directly Francisco basically about this.
Yeah, I know. 50% was the easier way to.
No,
yeah, a lot of publishers take 50%. We don't want that.
Yeah,
but
some publishers do take 50%, but yeah, we don't want. Didn't we? I think we got offered that once, right?
Yeah, we did. We did, and we weren't even asking for any funding. So we write out, we're like, yeah, nope. Like it's normal.
But yes.
I don't know if they start it. I don't know if they start at 50 and then they try and work their way down if you're not happy with that, if they like you. But yeah, 50 is pretty standard. Yeah. Depends on the deal, but yes. Okay. Yeah, I guess
it's not a given that that the publisher is going to take from the full amount of 100% of the game. They're going to take their cut, or
I guess it's whatever stated in the contract.
So it's not a given. Okay.
Yeah, usually Nevikling people go like 50%, and then you start negotiating from there or something.
Why is Battle.net open? What
To
the-
my understanding so far, which I haven't signed with any publisher, but from all the research, is that the ideal thing to do for you was depending on how much money you ask for. But if you ask for a lot of money, they say it's 50-50. But if you don't, I think you can go up to 30% for the publisher and 70 for you. Both publishers that had taken 50%.
Yes.
But they funded you though, right?
It sounds way better now that I know that it's out of the leftovers after Steam is
But
taking their cut.
Francisco, I don't know if you can answer because you've signed contracts and all that. But does it usually work like that? That the 50% they take comes out of the basically 70% that is minus the 30% of the Steam cut. So they don't take 50% of the full amount that you sell the game. They take it minus the Steam money, right?
Publisher
takes
take,
from the post-store cut.
which means
Oh, is that what
after
I mean?
Steam
Post-store cut?
takes their cut. Yeah, that's it
Okay.
should mean.
What would you need a publisher these days, anyways? Marketing
reasons.
and basically money right now because we need to pay ourselves and bills
Yeah.
and stuff.
So funding, but also
I'm not saying
with a
everyone needs
publisher,
to. I'm just saying we probably do.
with a publisher, I'm pretty damn sure we'll make more sales. With the right publisher, we'll make more sales than we would by ourselves. So even with the publisher
Also,
taking a cut,
for you,
it's
Vortex
quite
Prime,
possible.
it probably does make sense. Sorry, go on.
I don't know what I was saying now. With a publisher, even though they're taking a cut, it's quite possible that we're making more money than we would have done without a publisher, even with them taking a cut.
Yeah, that's the big question, actually. Do you think that you're gonna sell more with a publisher and earn more money because that's what it comes to eventually, or do you think you're gonna do a better job at?
Hey, GOG wants us. Oh wait,
marketing?
should I say that or not? Sorry. Nevik Link says publishers can get you on GOG because GOG is picky. They actually contacted us and we're like, well, game's not made yet or anything, but we'll talk later.
We've been
Yeah, I heard
by
that
them.
yeah.
We've been contacted by some Nintendo people too to go to
Yeah.
the store. So everyone who says we have connections with these, and I'm like, we already have them and we don't have a game, and we didn't even try. But all this like emails you get, I guess, is a kind of like a proof of concept that people are interested in your game. So you probably have a decent game. I haven't had my game fully funded, but having someone pay for music and voiceover is good. But so you're getting paid in milestones, I'm assuming, right? Isn't that how everyone? I'm just trying to ask generic questions because we're now talking about that stuff again. Deluxe Access Publisher can get events and Steam bundles, which I assume do fairly well. Yeah, that's actually one of the things that we probably can get by ourselves.
So
Vortex Prime says there's
that's a
Twitch and
no-no.
YouTube for exposure plus the platform.
So Twitch, we're reaching how many people? 15 people on a good day. That's not a lot of people. YouTube, once again, it takes a lot of effort to get far on that platform because you need to be posting regularly in order to be noticed by the algorithm. So if you're just, once again, just putting videos out to the few people that follow you, you're not reaching enough people at all. Then you can get people to play. You can get people. You can get people to play your game as well, and you'll be super lucky if you get someone big to play it. But once again, that's really difficult, especially when they probably receive messages from like a lot of people. So once you have someone like a publisher who are taken more seriously because they're known, it's easier to get their attention and to get those views.
Steam. I'm not saying what Vortex Prime says can't happen, but you have to like fucking push it as far as you can.
Yeah.
You have to be like a marketing, going crazy on marketing and keep posting all the time.
And you need a good following to start with as well. But also, the platform you launch on does a bit of marketing. Not necessarily you need to be actually noticed on there, so you need to be getting a shit ton of wish lists, I think, as far as I know. I don't know what else is involved in getting onto their front page in launch. Like, you need a certain number of people to have bought it on the first day, and you need reviews to go out. There's a lot to actually be noticed on Steam. that goes into it. You can't just launch a game and then hope that it's, it gets out there, because it won't without a lot of work done up front.
Also,
And the quality of your game will be your main
Cisco, we
advertising.
have a
It'll spread like
Kickstarter.
wildfire. That's not true as well. Like, if you're really lucky, yes, but like that's a very small percentage of people that just like will just put a game out there and then it just spreads. Like, a lot of people do. Those people whose games do really well are normally because of the amount of work they put in on marketing. But oh, I lost track what I was saying there.
Or previous successes.
Or previous successes, yeah. But there's a lot of games that aren't that good quality, and because they've done all that marketing, still like they manage to get a lot of sales and be successful. The quality of your game isn't always important. Obviously, it's important for us, but as far as making sales, it's not always important. That's the kind of frustrating thing.
Also, what Francisco is saying about us having a Kickstarter audience. This Kickstarter audience is community, but they're not like it's not customers because they already get the game for free, basically. It is good for the community building, and it's good for like as a proof of concept that now our game is like has interest and it's selling, and it's good because we have a chunk of money already. So like basically make the game even with like nothing else, no extra help, even though it's gonna take some time. But it's not. It doesn't apply exactly to being,
Making sales.
getting up. Yeah, in sales, it's not. It doesn't mean it's gonna explode the game or whatever. It's not like
I still think
have a thing
it
we
increases
wanna
your.
get, like, super awards and like make tons of money. We just want to sell.
It increases word of mouth, though. I think it does still count, even though
It
those
does,
people
yeah.
have paid up front. I think it is still kind of important. And there's a few people who found the game at the Kickstarter after the Kickstarter had ended as well.
Yeah.
So the fact that Kickstarter
What I'm
page
saying
is
we
still
can't
out
just
there.
rely on that.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Like we've done this step. We need to move on to the next one now.
Sorry, let me just go back up. I spoke loads.
Zim goes on with that. Like Zim has an example.
Of
How did
what?
it go, Zim?
Of what?
He says,
I've missed
I
so
launched
much.
the game without enough marketing and it was a financial failure.
Oh yeah, what have you made? That'd be.
That's one of our biggest fears.
Yeah,
of
it's
just, like,
really.
putting it on a vacuum.
It's really sad when you see. I mean, I think remember Deluxe Talks mentioning quite a few games that he's seen on Steam that are really good, but not a lot of sales and not a lot of reviews because there's not a lot of sales, I guess, just because it hasn't had the marketing behind it.
Vortex Prime has a point that we are going for a niche market, so it's not like it's more of a pro than a con. Yeah, I guess it is. But also, sometimes I'm trying to think what can we do to burst out of this.
Yeah.
We don't want to contain ourselves only to hardcore adventure game fans, but it's also great that we can get this audience on board. Like we have dinosaurs in the game. People like dinosaurs, so that's one marketing aspect of it, I guess.
Never underestimate the power of marketing. Marketing's like everything, pretty much. Cool. A turn-based guildmaster.
I'm happy for you, Jim, though, because you realize your mistake and you were like, I should do better next time, I guess. So that's pretty cool. I mean, considering what happened, that you're learning the lesson of that. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Everything says someone I know had Hammerwatch devs as a publisher and they had or have gotten like no money with them as publisher. You mean they didn't get money as funding, or they didn't make any money because they had them as publishers? Obviously, some publishers are better than others. Yeah, Francisco, I mean, that's also one of our big fears. If we sign up with someone and they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and the game doesn't get any better with them, and it just gets worse, and they get a cut, and then we're like, why the fuck didn't we do it by ourselves if that was the result?
Yeah, totally. Totally.
That's another thing, says Deluxe Talks. If you can get lots of games out there, more of a following you build can extend the tail of your original games over time. Yeah, like Francisco is doing, or What's That Games.
I'm gonna scroll up because I feel like I missed a bunch.
On some occasions, because some What's That Games are in Francisco's publisher.
I've scrolled up. I'm just gonna read through some stuff that I feel like I've missed.
Yeah, sure. I missed some stuff too. So.
Publishers can get Publishers can get events and Steam bundles, which I assume do fairly well. Yeah, no, that's true. When you're part of a publisher, like there's sales and stuff like that. They'll like push the
Although
whole.
I'm not sure if it's true, but I was told that publishers can do events every 3 years or 1 year or something. So
Oh
it's not like
yeah.
it's not like Devolver can have one every year, right? We were told that by a publisher at least. They were like, "Oh, it's getting close," and now their next one is like sometimes away.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Oh, that's awesome news, says Jim makes games. I don't know if that's about the GOG thing that I said that I didn't know if I should have said. I mean, I don't know if it matters. Link, we did not apply to be on GOG. They contacted us. Applying, I have been told, means jack shit. Oh, really? Yeah, I've heard that it's GOG are picky. But yeah, I don't know. They reached out to us, and we don't even have a game yet. Just a demo. I don't even know if they played the demo or just looked at the trailer. I don't know. Jim Mixim says, "Do you have any advice for marketing without a big budget? Obviously, it helps to have an awesome-looking game." Nah, that's the thing. I think that's the reason why we want to have a publisher is because we're both don't have the mindset of marketing. Like, you need to be a specific kind of person who is happy to, blow their own trumpet and say, "Oh yeah, my game's the shit," and then just like spam constantly, but not spam, if you know what I mean. No, I don't have advice. We're hoping to learn something through having a publisher as well. I don't know. What do you reckon, Costas? Do you have advice? Well, Jim Makes Games says, "Do you have any advice for marketing without a big budget? Obviously, it helps to have an awesome-looking game." So, I mean, I guess we did some marketing for our Kickstarter. I mean, we didn't get funded in the first few days. We got funded, like, a few days from the end. So, like, I wouldn't say that was a full-on success.
Yeah, we could have done way better, but we were like, we're going to do as much as humanly possible, basically.
Yeah, and we could have done a hecton more. It's just not knowing what to do. It's hard. Like, yeah, I don't know. Just, yeah, I don't know. Post loads and I don't know.
Francisco would know more because he's released a few games. Grunislav from chat, but yeah, I don't know, man. We're just like I think we just try to come up with ideas to like to reach out. So one of the stuff we did was like, well, we can make pretty fast pixel characters, so we're gonna do some homage animations to like old adventure game characters or some indie adventure game characters. And then we were putting those out and they were circulating around and people would like click on who's the user that posted this and probably see our Kickstarter and then they would look into the game. So we did a few stuff like that. I think just like going to like press or like streamers, from what I hear from everyone, it's like you have to do this, but you can't expect anyone to reply or do it. Sometimes it just comes out by mistake or accident. Some like big press outlet is going to write about this that you never even sent an email to. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
just like
mostly...
random. Like you have to put all the work, but you never know how it works.
Yeah. Vortex said, "Giving keys out to big streamers and making those contacts surely is more effective and a lot more lucrative." Yeah, like I said, it's not as easy. They receive loads of emails, like a shit ton. So to actually get your email seen, you'd be super lucky. Whereas if it comes from
We're not saying don't.
Oh no, totally. Sorry, it's like cutting up.
We're saying you don't expect them to be played.
Yeah, like you totally can, and like you might be lucky and you do get seen, but it's not a given in a sense.
Francisco says, "You know who's really good at self-marketing? Jacob Janerka. You should talk to him for ideas." The thing is with Jacob is that he has like a ton of personality and he like really puts this into his games and his marketing. So I guess the general advice there is like be yourself. But I mean we're trying to be ourselves when we market our game. I'm trying to say shitty puns occasionally and stuff. So that's a good adding personality to your tweets. But also like Jacob loves being in front of the camera obviously, and he's doing really funny TikToks. He's super creative. So be Jacob Janerka is not exactly it's like basically try and add personality to it because everyone's different. Or get a publisher and they're gonna do it for you. That's another thing. just focus on creating beautiful imagery, and if you can, just work with someone else. We're not saying be a marketeer. We're saying understand that marketing is really fucking important, and either do it yourself or find someone to do it for you.
Some people are just really natural at it and good at it.
I sent you an article recently. We're talking about. I don't know if you guys have seen those basically short horror games who deal with like something. I don't know. It's usually a monster that comes from childhood, like it's a Muppets puppet, or it's like that. What's that train called? I know it's Choo Choo Charlie's the horror game we're talking about, but I don't know what Thomas the Ensign. That's what it's
Thomas the
based
Tank
on.
Engine.
So there's been yeah there's been like a big interest in those kind of like horror games, and the guys who made Choo Choo Charles, they were going over how they made basically they made their game viral or the advertising for it. And I know the guy was basically he had a YouTube channel. He was making a few horror games before that, and then it was kind of like a mixture of like, but that was kind of like it's a game concept that is sort of based on marketing in the first place to get the project rolling. So that's an interesting approach. Sometimes games and movies are being made like that. They're like, what do people like? How can I give them the same but a little bit different? And then you kind of have a thing in your hands that's like really marketable.
Yeah, a lot of it is like to do with timing as well. Certain game genres do way better. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Jim makes games. I have a hard time blowing my own trumpet. I'm too British for my own good. Yep. I understand that entirely.
Yeah, sometimes I cringe when people like post their games. It's like, look at this gorgeous game, and
Yeah.
they're like, it's your game. I can't say that too much, but I can say it if I have Matt doing the backgrounds, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, look at this is gorgeous because I didn't do it. He
Look at
did
this
it, so I can
gorgeous
say
puzzle
I can give a
design.
compliment to Matt. I can give a compliment to Matt. Look at this gorgeous puzzle. Yeah, look at this gorgeous puzzle dependency charts.
I'm gonna be right back a sec. I'm too hot now.
Deluxe Luck says, I get it, I'm not a dev, but I hate doing my own resume for jobs and it's similar. Yeah, I know what you mean. Me and Sarah in college had a huge issue with like, it feels weird to say, yeah, I'm the best man, give me money. I thought British people, or Boris people, did blow their own trumpet. Did Jeremy Clarkson of Top Gun lie to me? I mean, yeah, but he's a douche, right? Yeah, he's just an ass. or Gordon Ramsay, I guess. You feel like Choo Choo Charles did really well, but then everyone forgot about it. I feel like Choo Choo Charles will do similarly. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's some games to do that. Wasn't it like to go back to adventure games? Didn't Backbone sort of did that, where they had this amazing like um, prologue, and then the game was like everyone was like, "Wow, the prologue was so good," but the game just stopped there. They didn't give us anything more. Like some games do that market wise, but then you probably it might be a negative thing because you build up so much hype that then there's no way you can maintain that or like live up to it. So I don't know if it harms you in the long run, or maybe if it fills the developer's head with like promises of success that never come. Sim says, "Oh yeah, I don't mind saying how great the music for my game is because I didn't make it." Yeah, see. I saw the DC talk by Jake Birklet called "How to Survive the Game Dev 11 Years Without a Hit," which I found pretty encouraging. Hoping I can make it work in the long term. Yeah, it's a nice way to approach failures as a learning step, obviously.
I thought British people. Wait, what? I thought British people did blow their own trumpet. Did Jeremy Clarkson of Top Gear lie to me, or is he just an ass? He's just an ass, probably.
Oh, you think it's different, Francisco? Because I think it's about building up so much expectation and then deflating it when the actual thing comes out. Are you thinking that maybe when Choo Choo Charles is gonna come out, no one's gonna know it came out? Because they should have like a second marketing campaign for when the game actually comes out. Also, who knows? Maybe the two Charles people made like an amazing publisher deal, and then the publisher is gonna take it to the next point, right? Time will tell with Backbone. More is planned in the universe, so I think it's still early to do postmortems. Yeah, it's early to do postmortems, but you can still talk about launch day and the next reviews, right? That's there forever. Jeremy
Jeremy
Clarkson
Clarkson's
is a bad
a.
British person. We largely find him distasteful because he's an arrogant prick.
That's true. Be right back quickly. I need to sort something out.
I've run out of excuses now. It's like, yeah, just leaving. Hey, Davor. What is your want today? Figuring Davor's writing.
Hello.
Hello. I asked Davor what his want was. That still made me laugh. I went a little bit crazy on Friday. Man, you can imagine what the experience was for me though. I was like, I had so much fuzziness in my screen when I was looking at the game. Sometimes I had to turn and look at chat and be like, oh, that's what this drawing is. It was
It's
super
my
fuzzy.
internet. It's my slight internet.
But for chasing static, it was fantastic. Like, I didn't have any issue.
Yeah, so my internet's weird. So like today it's awful. I think it's maybe to do with the weather as well. It's kind of windy outside. But sometimes it's just bad and sometimes it's okay. Like we're chasing
Connection's under
static,
the
it would have
weather.
been fine. Sorry?
Connections under the weather.
Yeah.
My joke
Yeah.
is the weather. It seems it.
It does affect it though. I didn't think my drawings were that bad. It's my internet, not your drawings.
No, it was your internet. I couldn't see stuff. Like we were solving the last puzzle, and there was like there was a symbol on one of the droids, and I couldn't see the fucking symbol. I thought it was shading.
Oh, the other
I
game.
couldn't solve the puzzle basically. Yeah. Also, I really enjoyed doing voice acting for Davor's game. Oh, hello! I was doing Monty Python women voices, as Deluxe pointed out. No, the game felt really good, and it's actually super impressive. Not only the length of it, but that you made it in Power Quest, right? Like Sarah making this game in Unity, right? Felt like a genuinely old game.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very impressive display of PowerPoint engine. Well, Unity, but you know what I mean.
I've worked out what the problem was.
Are you reading someone or?
Child 1 equals 1. Wait, no, I realized why the child doesn't disappear.
No.
Child 1 equals 1. Okay. Now I need to make him follow me out of the room.
Dave said he thought the same, impressive for exam and very cozy EGA adventure. It was very cozy. I really like your idea of having nightfall, and it felt like every time I was I finished a chapter, I finished a little story, I did something. even though we like super powered up the game with like all the correct dice roll.
We didn't do any
Also,
puzzles.
the die roll was really cool because you also, yeah, we didn't do any puzzle. The die roll was really cool because it always felt like, you know, you could have a different outcome, even though we were crushing it. But game design wise, I'm very impressed they were. That was really cool ideas you have. What can we say? We just roll a die and win the game of life. Uh, I'm gonna draw this guy's hair now. I don't know why I'm bothering. It's gonna be pixels in the end. Sarah's gonna deal with that. Beginner's luck, more like mad skills to pay the bills.
We're just pros.
More like skills to die for. Right.
Nice.
By the way, if you have any other publisher questions, I'd be happy to come answer them in real time on your call or whatever. That would be nice. We actually, yeah, we're in talks right now. So.
Oh yeah, you should come on stream voice-wise and have a chat with us. We can talk about publisher stuff.
Oh yeah, that would be nice. Oh, now I made the connection. What you meant? That would be
If
nice.
that's what you mean on
Actually,
stream.
you should come. You should
totally
come
do
on
that.
stream at some point if you want to, and like you want to work on Rosewater, I would say. Like we can have 3 streams. We have the setup. We can have 3 screens. I mean, right, Sarah? I know I'm speaking for you because you're the one who's going to be doing this, but we've done it with Matt, right?
We have done it with Matt, yeah. Let's do it. But I kind of need to change it a bit so that there's some promo on there for
You
him.
can do a joint stream if you want.
Yeah, if you want to, you can totes do that. Okay, child 1.room. What am I doing? Okay.
Dice funds keep going on a roll. Thank you. I like how my jokes are critical hits.
Okay. 150.
I'm adding way more hurt this guy than he does. Yeah, I meant sad about it on stream.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You mean voice chat, right? You did say voice at some point. In real time, yeah, sure.
150, 105.
I know, but I also went a step further and said if you want to be on stream too, working with us along that, we can also chat about stuff, and that'll be one of them. Oh wow, Dave or Winter.
Yeah.
Good one, Dave. We're excellent. You're on a roll today. What can I say? Old habits die hard.
$44,125. 125,118. Okay.
I also had another question about publishers usually, which I also asked publishers, which was like when they do your marketing, it's a little bit weird to me because when a publisher does marketing for you, they can't do the marketing without you providing a lot of the material. So technically, they do the marketing, but you also do the marketing, right?
It's a joint thing, but they're doing the actual posting. You're just surprising them. What am I trying to say? You're
Yeah,
providing them with the assets.
but also they do stuff like you wouldn't be able to do, like put you in contact with like I don't know streamers or like sending keys and like dealing with basically the you know the bureaucratic aspect of it, I guess, or the more intensive, like the I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but basically the boring stuff.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I don't know. That pan was pretty dicey.
But I think that also, as far as them posting, doing like your tweets and stuff like that for marketing wise, I think that's totally depends on your agreement with them. Because some people prefer to do it themselves in their own voice instead of a publisher full on taking over your social media. So yeah, I don't know.
No, I wouldn't do that, but Nevigling asks if all the Packer villagers are men. Yeah, all 6 of them so far, but I don't know about the other 6 who replied.
There should be one female at least. I think it is actually just one, but she hasn't replied yet. I need to.
Female woman. Oh, I know. You mean one of the high tier backers?
Yeah.
From what I remember. Yeah. Okay. I guess what the publisher really provides is the context and audience. Yeah, I would assume so. You know what? That's also another random question from me. But do you know how some some games, when they have like a release trailer or whatever, if it's what was it, like Dead Cells or Room Disc, it's usually Devolver stuff, where they have like pretty awesome 2D animations that look like a Saturday morning cartoon, but it's like part of the actual trailer of the game. I always wonder, like, that looks really cool, but does it actually get people to buy the game because you give the impression of like something that looks really polished and high end? I know most people don't have money to do that, but I'm wondering like how, if you hired a studio to do that. What was the other game by Devolver? The one with the Carrion, the one with a crazy monster that looked like that was a Metroidvania, but you were the monster. This had an amazing like 2D animation in the trailer. That was like a John Carpenter movie. And Devolver does this a lot, and I'm wondering like what's the, if it has a crazy upside, the marketing aspect. Publishers can also more easily get you into cons, which is a pretty good point, Nevicling, actually. I mean, even if they're digital, most of them now. I remember British Life had the demo out a few times because of different things, yeah. I'm interested in one thing from a trailer, and that's it. Show me some gameplay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Also, that's another question for you. What do you guys think of like having a pixel art game like ours, and like the banner art not being a pixel art game? Is this confusing to you? I know you know Theropods now, but we had people say, "Oh no, I wish the game was like your banner," and then I'm like, "What the fuck, man? Like, if it have you seen any good looking pixel banners?" That's my.
Yes.
I mean, it could be like what our banner is, but pixelated, but that wouldn't be the art of the game as the banner. You know what I mean?
I want to say yes, but I also
point
can't
and
look
click
it up
action.
right now because I will kill stream.
Banner can be anything, says Deluxe Tax, which I totally agree with you.
I don't, but I do as well. I used to hate the
Yeah,
idea
because we
of
had some
that.
people saying, "What the fuck is this false marketing? Showing me the banner and then making me click and watching a trailer with pixels." First of all, oh
So-
no, you spent 1 second realizing that wasn't true. It's not like I stole your fucking money.
So,
Second
Costas,
of all, like it's supposed to get your eyes on it.
That's how I feel too, but I do feel let down when I see banner art that's completely different from the gameplay. Sometimes it's completely different. Like, I don't know how I'd feel about
Yeah,
ours.
but our game should be a good surprise.
I don't know how I feel about ours because I'm used to it and I know it, if you know what I mean. It's hard to have fresh eyes on something that you've been looking at for ages. But yeah, there are definitely some games that I click on because of the banner art, and then I'm very like disappointed. I'm like, yeah, nope.
The librarian.
And I used to be full on of the idea of
True.
if it's pixel art,
I mean,
it should
it's
have a
not great.
pixel art banner. But yeah. What about? Actually, can I look on Steam without killing? Yeah, see, even that's not.
Rosewater isn't pixel. It's pixel characters against painted backgrounds. It's just high risk. Yeah, I saw the librarian banner. I don't think it looks that great though. The game looks prettier than the banner.
I think it totally
Plus the
depends.
librarian.
Because there's some games that I play that are pixel art and super pretty, and their banners actually are not pixel art, but they match the feel of the game. That it doesn't feel too far-fetched. Yeah. And I'd hope that ours was like that. But I don't know. I don't know, what do you guys
It's
think about
marketing.
banner?
It's like the same as movies, right? It's marketing material. Like if you see a poster in a movie that's not like exactly like the movie would be, and the point is to get your interest, then you're like, okay, cool. What is that? The point is basically for someone who's looking through random images to get their eyes on it and be like, ooh, what's that? And then click on it. I think that's if they feel offended that I lied to them for 1 second, which I didn't, then okay, whatever. Which is not even lying to them. I think this comment was mostly to be for full context. I saw it on the Reddit on the gaming our gaming thread, so I expect a lot of douchebags to be on there. And we didn't even post our game there. Someone else did.
Oh, Dave, what do you mean our banner? I like the banner, the sky is a
maybe
little
the
bland, but otherwise I like
librarian?
it. We are planning on, are we planning on updating it? We were planning on it. There's things
I
about it that have
actually like it, I
changed,
don't know.
like the space pod. No, I like it.
Oh yeah, you're right. The space pod.
I did add some extra stuff to the sky because like it's someone else's art, and then I butchered it a little bit.
This guy. Does this look like the guy I want?
Which guy is it?
Well, I'll send you on Discord.
What am I doing? Losing track. Okay.
You are getting this picture.
Coming from the village outskirts stream. Coming from the stream. 565112.
8675309.
Costas. Do you remember I talked to you about this?
Yeah, it's my favorite number.
Yeah, it's just don't. If I'm spewing out numbers, shut up. So freaking annoying. What did I even just say? I think 5112. Shut up, shut up, shut up. 56512. Okay, what did you send me?
This guy, does he look like the guy I drew?
Oh, him. Did you make your own picture for it? Like your own.
Yeah, because
yeah, it makes it easier, I'm sure.
You know, I told you, right? Like I can't do much, but at least I kept his pants from one of his pictures. Does he look like it? Should I call it a day and move on to the next one? I feel like his face, what he's gonna be doing.
Yeah, I
and
think
his-
so.
are
Something's
gonna be
something's
fine.
like slightly not right. I don't know why.
Maybe
But I think it's fine.
in my version or his,
Your
like, I
in
can't-
your
you know what's funny?
your version
Because-
or in the real pictures of him? What do you mean?
No, because okay, if I add eyebrows and a nose, then it's better, but I can't.
Yeah, you
That's the
can't.
point. See?
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying something.
Here, have eyebrows.
No, no, go with
and
it. Leave it. Nah,
Have
still.
a nose.
and have like
Yeah,
ooh,
it might be
hello.
the moustache doesn't
They,
look like his moustache because it looks more like a handlebar moustache on yours, but it's gonna be in
yeah,
pixels. Like, don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it because like I can only do so much with pixels. You know what I mean? I can't do a thin moustache,
yeah, true.
so I think it's fine.
Okay, what's going on here? Tabor says, if I were doing a pixel art banner, I have probably a short list of Twitter artists who do high res a pixel art. I'd probably want the banner from.
Mm.
Luxlock says one game where the trailer is nothing like the gameplay is Tormentor X Punisher, but I love the trailer so much I excuse it. The game is fun, but not as good as the trailer opening video. That's a Raw Fury game. I've heard about that game. It's an interesting stream today where we actually talk about games and
Oh
not
shit!
other stuff.
Fail to save. Nested functions. 114.
It's interesting like that. The game doesn't have text, and there's all these in real life people with names. Oh, Tormentor X Punisher. How about I go and PRP?
TMI. What is going on here? Do I have... Oh. What nested functions? Flippin' heck, what's it talking about? Okay, that's all in one thing. Oh wait, that's all in one thing. That's one whole thing with one, and then it's closed. Okay. That's one, and then it's closed, and then this whole thing is closed. So what the heck's the problem here? I didn't add anything. Oh, jeez. Pee like a human, disgusting. What have I done wrong? Oh, I'm looking in totally the wrong room. Okay.
Room for improvement.
That's closed. That's closed. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's here. Nope.
What? We had 2 subscriptions today in our YouTube channel? That's weird.
Today we had 2 the other day as well.
Oh, really? What's going on?
Are you serious? It's actually today, or was it previously?
It says the 5th of December. What day is it today?
Oh, the 6th. Then yeah, it
The
was
6th.
yesterday.
Oh, that was yesterday.
Yeah, it was weird that it was 2 in a row. Undefined token, child 1. What? Character child 1, isn't it not what? 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 Find child 1.
Alrighty, let's get to the last person that I have to draw. He only provides his face. Ooh, Nevekling, thanks for subscribing right now. As I said things.
What?
As I was saying about that, Nevekling subscribed
Oh, on
to our
YouTube?
YouTube channel.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Neviglink. I haven't been uploading streams.
Oh yeah.
I've been forgetting to export them as well, so I definitely missed some. My mind's
I
not
feel like
been there.
I might have missed Chasing Static.
You've missed Chasing Static.
I think I downloaded it, and then the other day I was cleaning up some streams on my hard drive, past streams, because I
You
was like,
deleted
these
it?
are ages ago. We already uploaded them. So I feel like by accident I might have deleted this Chasing Static
Did I
without
not?
realizing.
What the flipping heck? I come to the lake, the river. Oh, the river's also not playing for some reason. And I click on the read for the little boy to come out, and suddenly the girl appears as well. Not to mention he's not following me now. Wait. Okay. You should probably add a
We
YouTube
had a
link for
YouTube link?
Theropods
No.
YouTube onto the socials. For Theropods, have I not? Do you mean on the socials
mean-
on Twitch?
We don't have one on Twitch, huh?
I shall add it. I thought I did. But this is, yeah,
Oh,
it
man,
becomes a massive long list of socials. That's probably why I didn't.
Dave, I also hate picking Christmas presents. I hate picking any presents.
I'm done with mine.
I hardly want to get any presents for people because it's gonna cost me so much money that I don't have.
I don't do it.
So I'm just ignoring the fact now.
That's why I used to make gifts, but it's nice to actually kind of be able to afford stuff now. That I don't have to, because I don't have the time to make.
I almost get panicky because I keep adding how many people I have to get gifts for that I have no idea what to get, and then I'm like, holy shit, it's gonna cost so much.
It all adds up. That's why I start months early, so it spreads it out.
Oh, you're crazy. How would you? I would never start months away.
Children are busted. Oh, yeah, I agree. Oh, add all the Theropods things along with your personal ones on the clicky links.
You can't just not do it
I'll
for
look
your
into
mom.
it.
I have my mom, my dad, my sister, her boyfriend, and then it's my girlfriend's family who are gonna be getting me gifts. So I'm gonna be douche if I don't. So I have like.
But don't you
another
share that
family
with
to get
her?
Fucking gifts for.
Don't you share
Huh?
that with her? Don't you share that with her? Get something together.
I can do that, but still, yeah. Well, it cuts.
But then
what,
you're
one
going
person?
you're going half on a present
The thing
basically.
is that her parents are also. I've heard that they want to get us like a coffee maker, so that's kind of fucking amazing. And I can't not get them anything if they're getting me a coffee maker.
Yeah, but get something with
It's gonna
her.
sustain me for ages.
Has she not?
Probably.
Has she not discussed presents with you?
Yeah, she has, and then I got really panicky because like she found two gifts which are really good gifts, but they're fucking expensive
They're expensive.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, holy shit! If those two people are gonna be that much, imagine the rest.
Is
I
even
just got, like-
even half of it not, really expensive?
So I mean, if you
Yeah.
don't, if you haven't considered all the other people that are still left,
Yeah,
then
all
in
adds
my
up.
head, then yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I don't. I
So,
some
so I
people
was being a
go.
dick to her without wanting to because she picked really good gifts, and
Some
I didn't-
people go
I was
crazy.
Like, holy shit.
Some people go crazy for presents where they spend a lot of money on like. I was looking at my friends' like budgets for Christmas presents, and I was like, wow. Like I wouldn't spend that. Maybe I did spend that much if it all adds up, but yeah, I don't tend to go. I keep it quite low. But yeah, and no one has an issue with that.
This is why Secret Santa is so good. That's true, but doing Secret Santa with your family, I usually do with
Yeah.
friends. Like, I don't know if families do that. But it's like Secret Santa came out just because people couldn't afford to get for everyone. Where's this weird... Where's this guy? There we go.
It's really silly with Secret Santa. I don't even know if I can say this. Wait, let me just check. See who's watching. I think we're fine. So, yeah, so Secret Santa, I'm doing it with a group of friends. And the name I picked is someone I've already bought a present for anyways. So they're getting double the presents basically, which is funny.
Why? Oh.
It does make it super easy because I know really know like what to get for them.
Why can't you get away with it and just get one?
Because that's not the Secret Santa present. Because I already gave them their present.
How would they know?
I gave them the present, so I
If you-
saw them, and then
If you haven't given it to them, there was no reason to get a secret
no, I would
present.
anyways. I have to do both because it's an extra present, and I don't mind that. I like the having a reason to get something else for them. Dave, well, why are you saying? I'm so confused because you just said the name of the person who I got for Secret Santa, and that really confused me. So you're either knowing who it's for, which is creepy, or you're just saying the name.
Well, I'm pretty sure you were saying your name.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
I guess today I'm not animating, I'm just drawing people. But I had to do this.
What was I doing? Okay. These children are seriously such a mess. Such messy programming. I made it sound like I was gonna drop some massive shade. No, it's because if one of them was watching, they'll know exactly who the Secret Santa's for. It's not for them, but they'll know who it's for, and that's sort of the fun in it, is trying to keep it secret and then guessing on the day. So I'm trying to be kind of sneaky with how I wrap it as well. Okay, what is the problem? The problem is that the girl appears for some who the heck knows reason. Oh, I can't. I feel like I need to delete it all and start again. Like, why does child 3 suddenly appear? Cat making a really weird noise.
You know what Nathan posted on Twitter? That he found some leak about the Game Awards.
Okay.
Right? About a list of games that were going to be presented there or something. And his Chasing Static was on that list.
What the heck?
But also, it's kind of a leaked thing that no one knows if it's true, but you still posted it because you got a Google alert. So that's kind of interesting. He was like, I have no idea how this happened, and it's probably not true, but it was cool to see it. Sarah, why am I saying these guys?
Oh, hold on a second. That's why I just didn't change that one thing.
Okay.
Child 3, that's what my mom calls me when she's really angry.
Man, I got a mini heart attack.
What? Why? What happened?
Oh.
What? What's wrong?
I have a JPEG of the person I'm drawing, one of the backers, on my screen. That I also have the stream on, and I had, for some reason, by accident, I had placed it perfectly so
On
it
top.
would be within the stream window, and
Yeah.
it felt like I was streaming his face for everyone to see, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? How is this happening?" And then I was like, "Okay, it's not happening."
Okay, I fixed it. I understand what the problem was, I think.
Child 3, get over here.
No. No, child 3. So it's like child 3's. No, yeah, following instead of child 1. Why?
Oh, why?
It's when you click on the thing. There's nothing about child 3 though. Maybe it's child 1 follow. Find child 1 follow. Damn it, child indeed. Okay, maybe it's in like the global screen. No, but it was working fine before. I have no idea what I've done wrong here. Child 1 follow.
Messed
Character.
up with the wrong cell.
Hi, Sarcoid. One person codes and the other one arts. Depends. Sometimes I
Well,
arts too.
One person codes for sure.
Yeah,
I
that's true.
always do art and animation. I also do puzzle design, but I can't be like spoiling them on the stream.
But yeah, we both do different things and work at the same time.
Wait. Here is a bunch of links on this game we're making. It's a point-and-click adventure. I am Kostas. This is Sarah.
Hello.
Yay. Yeah, this team works. Our codes. I do some puzzle design. I animate, and I write the story. And Sarah codes does pixel art. Basically, I do the art and pixel art. I do the art and animation in this way that you're seeing here, like in this kind of sketching. Actually, here's an animation. Here's an example of an animation. And then I give this to Sarah, and she goes over it and pixel arts it and colors it in and all that. Child 3 Revolution, says Jim.
This flipping child.
I'm also the pun master. Yeah, I make puns that have nothing to do with this game because it doesn't have any dialogue or text, but I do make them. And Sarah accepts them.
Not happily.
But super heavily.
I don't know why I'm testing this again. I know it's not going to work. What happens if I click on her?
No sauropods. No sauropods because they're a bit too big for a resolution. So
What's a sauropod?
we're gonna have sauropods like a brachiosaurus, like the gigantic.
We'll have
ones.
some in the background.
We are going to add some in the background, but they're so fucking cute that our camera angles don't really allow them to be in the same space with like humans. Sauropod.
You do have that emoji. It's like a global emoji. It's not ours. If that's the one you mean.
Yeah, we do have a few Tide Pods to keep things clean.
Oh my goodness, look at...
What happened? Oh, is she walking up and down?
Thanks for the follow, I think.
I haven't caught up with the stream yet.
No, thanks for the sub. Thanks for resubscribing, Deluxe Dogs.
Thanks, Deluxe Dog.
9 months.
What's going on?
Woo. Can you not see?
So behind. No.
What's happening on stream? Screen.
You click on the kid in the water now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he's He's supposed to be. Oh, why are they multiplying? Now I like how you stopped. Oh no! Oh no! I like how you stopped the other boy from doubling, and now we have double little girls.
But he's not even following. What is he? I don't know what he. I haven't stopped him. Somehow I've turned him into the girl, and that one that's of him standing there is an object, and I don't know why because I made it so that it's not visible. Naughty children.
So the player character is a ginger. Discuss. Yes. Orange looks good against green, and we have a lot of green jungles. That was a discussion. It's purely artistic.
Yeah, I don't know why. We made Theropods as a game jam a while ago. And I don't know, Costas just came up with the idea of having a female protagonist who would be Ginger. Oh my god.
Says, I've started work, so if you're up for having a guest, I'm down. How are we doing this? I'm adding Francisco to call?
I don't know that I can set it up for you working on.
No, wait. He means only voice, I think.
Yeah, if it's just your voice, then, yeah, you can. Yeah, do you wanna come on voice?
You good with that, Francisco?
I think I'd have to add him to the call, and then it's gonna screw up your visuals, but then I'll fix it.
HCD, what's that?
I'll just be a voice. They need to see me on my desktop. Okay, let's add.
Yes, it's a frame by frame recreation of Horizon Zero Dawn. We also have sci-fi stuff. I'll be in voice. No need to see me on my desktop, says Francisco.
Okay, let me try and find you. Are you a friend of mine? Wait, but you sent something to me at some point.
If you've never caught a rabbit, you ain't a friend of mine.
Are you able to add him to the call?
I guess I'll try.
I'm trying to find.
How do I do this?
So you add there's a little person with a plus.
Can you remind me every time that I don't know?
Yeah, it's a person
do I right click on you, or do I right click on the other person? To add them?
No one. You click on our chat, and then there's a
okay.
an icon of a person with a plus sign.
There is a plus sign.
Yeah, try that.
I click on our chat. There's a plus sign, and it gives me upload the file.
No, okay, fine.
What?
I'm sending you a screenshot.
Okay.
Normally, things to do with our call is at the top of the screen.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah, you have to hover over it, sort of thing. There's a plus.
It wasn't a chat.
Add friends to DM, basically.
Oh, there we go. So it's the very top. Add friends to DM.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that must be the problem. Okay, here we go. Pending. Accept.
Friend. No, wait. Gruen.
I've got it.
You got what? You...
Nah, cut him out.
Hello? Hello?
Costas, can you do me a favor and share your screen again, please?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we got Francisco. We don't have his voice.
We can't hear you. Yeah, Wilma, that's true. Wilma with a pearl necklace and white dress.
Wait, I heard something.
What stream?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Boopy boop 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 boop.
Yeah, that was, were you beep booping or was it?
I wasn't beep booping. You were beep booping.
Wait.
Oh, I see that you have been.
Hold
Oh,
on a
I've
second.
ruined the configuration of your video.
I just fixed it, but I'm gonna break it again just to
I'm
put
like
your
15 seconds
volume
behind.
down.
There we go. Now it's good.
Is that because you're in the US? Why?
Yes. Let's blame everything on that.
Okay, that should be okay.
We're 50 seconds in the future.
There we
Yes.
go.
There you go.
So don't hear stream because it's gonna be really delayed compared to our chat.
No, I'm not. I'm just looking at the chat window.
Yeah.
I've muted the stream.
So
I don't
you're
get
gonna
an echo
experience
also.
my view of Sarah's screen, which is like 2 minutes behind every time.
I'm looking at. Yeah. Let me not watch this stream because I don't want to get the inside info. Wait, no, that's on the screen anyway. What am I talking about? I don't know. Hi, thanks for having me on your stream.
Hey everyone, I'm Francisco with no graphic to indicate it's him, but believe us, he's here.
You're just gonna have to believe me. I am the voice of reason. No,
So
very much not.
we're joined by the voice of reason today
No.
for the first time. So how's it going, Francisco? How's Rosewater?
Oh, you know, it's going.
Flowing like water, all going like roses.
It's a bed of roses, and I don't know. No, it's fine. I'm drawing a background. I'm hopefully finishing a background today, and then I'm gonna have to do some writing that I've been putting off forever. So
Is that for So you've done the writing for the story, I'm guessing, of the game.
yeah, I mean, I've designed the thing. I have like all the puzzles and everything in the game, so like you can play the game from start to finish. But I haven't written.
Cool.
I mean, I've written the dialogue for the first act, and now I have to write the dialogue for the second and third act, and then get that edited, and then implemented, and then recorded, and all of that stuff.
Do you plan the dialogue as in like really roughly, as in the dialogue option for this is yes, no, maybe, and then
I don't
you
even
kind of like
sometimes if it's like a puzzle that depends on a dialogue tree, I'll do that. But most of the time, if it's like, you know, if you're talking to a character and the point of talking to the character is eventually getting an item from them and the rest is just kind of like, you know, world building or story flavor or whatever, I don't
Yeah.
bother with that. So then, like, if you're just playing the game and you click talk on the character, I'll just have them say placeholder stuff like, we'll have a conversation, but in the meantime, have this bottle or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, we've never done that with Sarah with dialogue, so it will be interesting.
Okay.
Because it feels like it's interesting because you already solved the puzzle, you already designed the puzzles, and then you got the dialogue, which is also kind of part of a puzzle, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
But also you did a crazy thing where you have like 3 different ways to solve a puzzle, which I have no idea how you design.
Well, don't exaggerate there. I'm not. Let's not go crazy.
Well, having played your games, I get that feeling. I don't know about
Well,
Rosewater.
Yeah,
I mean, I did play the demo. And that was
yeah. I mean, the demo, the puzzle in the demo has 3 different solutions, but don't think that every single puzzle in the game has 3 different solutions because
No,
that is
too
very
late.
much
I
not
think that
the
now.
case. Okay, well then you're gonna be disappointed. You're
my
gonna be
marketing expectations.
Yeah, well there you go. So you're gonna be one of those people who leaves a review saying this game didn't end up being anything like the marketing.
I've already drafted it.
Okay.
Davor says genuinely scared for Sarah's safety based on the number of pun people now on stream.
I will refrain from making puns, I promise.
You're having enough on your plate right now with me. So.
Exactly. I'm actually impressed at your level of restraint. It's been
Today
less
or
than
in my life?
No, just this conversation. It's been like less than 5 minutes and not a single pun.
We're warming up. We're warming up. It's gonna come. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's not like before I make a pun, I'm like, now I'm gonna make a pun. It just happens, and then sometimes it happens and I can't stop. So.
Yeah. So you were talking about publishers, and
Yeah.
I have some experience with publishers, and if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them because I mean, with the caveat that every publisher is different, and
Yeah.
you know, take everything I say with a grain of salt.
Like a grain of insult. There you go.
I knew that was. I regretted saying that because I knew that a pun was gonna come from it.
I hope you didn't get salty about that joke, but. Insulty. So one of the.
You're just gonna pepper the conversation with puns, aren't you?
I mean, that's not really a question, but I don't know if you ever had this with a publisher, but we had this fear that we've read like some horror stories about publishers, how they take like basically a bunch of games, like they would sign 10 games, and then it would be like, they would YOLO it, as in like one of them is gonna hit, so I'm not gonna really spend enough time on this.
Yeah.
And if one of them hits, then we make back our money. And that's one of my biggest fears if I sign with someone. It will be like not doing anything, and if you make it, you made it. But
yeah, I've definitely heard that horror story too, and my answer to that is just do your research, because like, I mean, It definitely depends. Like, you have different, I guess. Well, for us, it's especially difficult because, like, there's not that many publishers out there that specialize in point and click adventure games.
Yeah, exactly.
There's
That's my
basically
other fear. How
two.
would they know to market it?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So, like, when I left Wadget, I freaked out because I was like, oh my god, who am I gonna like? What publisher am I gonna find that actually like knows or cares about point and clicks?
Yeah.
Um, so like you have like Raw Fury. Obviously, they did Kathy
Yeah, yeah.
Rain.
And
Um,
Whispers of a Machine.
yeah, and Whispers of a Machine.
Same
So they
people.
had they had some interest in adventure games, and like I was talking with them and was like this close to signing with them. Um, but like so like someone like that. But obviously, Raw Fury is also a bigger operation. Like they have a
Oh.
lot more different games. But
It's
yeah,
actually
and I mean,
interesting because before you move on, like how I mean, you probably signed NDAs and stuff. I don't know what you can talk about, but how
I've
come
never signed
you
an
didn't get?
NDA in my life.
Oh, okay, you didn't get a good feeling out of them. How come you didn't go with that? Or is it because they do like a one point and click game and the rest of their games are not? So how
Wait,
would they
you
market it? I
broke up
guess.
a little. You broke up a little bit at the beginning. What were you saying about?
I'm
Are you talking about
saying
Raw
how.
Fury?
Yeah, I was wondering how come you didn't sign them with them, and now I'm
Oh,
arguing with myself saying that they actually have made one point and click or two from
I
the same
didn't
people.
sign. I didn't sign with them because they emailed me one morning and they said, "Oh, we've decided we're gonna pass."
Oh,
And
that
then they
helps
published, yeah, then they
decide.
published like a platformer or something instead.
Ah, okay, that's weird.
It's not
That's weird.
weird. I totally understand why they did it because, like you said, like at that point they had only published Kathy Rain, and Kathy Rain had like remember that whole big article that they wrote about like how Kathy Rain was a quote unquote failure,
No, I
but
didn't know that.
oh yeah, no, they wrote this whole big article. Like they said that Kathy Rain, from the perspective of like other games that they published, like
Hmm.
comparatively with the numbers, like Kathy Rain had been considered a flop, but
Okay.
in the context of like how indie adventure games
Yeah.
normally do, Kathy Rain did pretty well. It's just
I mean,
so
you also consider how like what the team of people in it, and also
yeah,
just judging from the fact they're still milking out Kathy Rain and they're coming out with another version of it. They just
yeah,
came
they
out with it last
already
year, right?
yeah they just came out with the director's cut. I
Yeah.
think like a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, so I mean, and yeah, I mean, I don't want to name names, but like we both have a mutual friend who had an unfortunate experience with a publisher and then got a new publisher and did substantially better.
Oh,
So
you mean in their second game?
yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, like it all depends. It's kind of a crapshoot. Like my general feeling now is like you say, like find a publisher that you can tell cares about the games that isn't just like a mill that's not like signing up, like you say, 10 games and hoping that one of them will be a hit and not really
Yeah.
caring about them. Um, always look for a publisher that like has at least published one, in this case, point and click adventure, which there's a lot. Um, and also, I mean, also take this with a grain of salt, but I also feel like generally speaking, and I'm not trying to throw
You are.
shade,
Go on.
but if
I
it's
don't know what you're gonna
no,
say.
no,
It's okay.
try and find a publisher that's not also a developer
Oh, really?
because if they're a developer, also sometimes, and this is not true of everyone, but the possibility exists that maybe your game will take a back seat if they're focused on
Oh, I see what you mean.
their, so that's all.
Oh, I see what you mean. As in,
But
like,
yeah,
they're currently developing their game, but they're also publishing other games.
yeah, like I had when I was looking for a new publisher, I had a couple of people approach me who were not well established publishers that were just like, "Oh, hey, we're developing this game, but we'll publish yours and we'll, whatever." And I was like, "But if you're developing your game, what's to say that you're going to like, not just dedicate your full energy to promoting your game, So
Yeah.
that's just something to look out for. And yes, as Deluxe,
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, like you say, the thing that you want is for the public. The whole reason, excuse me, the whole reason you want a publisher in the first place is for them to take care of stuff that would otherwise take up your time or that you don't necessarily have the experience doing, like marketing and stuff. And obviously, you want to get your money's worth, because if they're taking 50% or more, I've
Yeah,
definitely heard
exactly.
of
They
other
better do a
publishers.
good job. Like it better.
Right. They better make it
They
work.
they're also better like generate more money for your game rather than if you were going by yourself. Otherwise, what are they doing?
Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, definitely part of the reason is, if you feel like I'm still working with publishers because I feel like I don't like, even though I've released a few games and like I've been making games and I have like the quote unquote audience from like Ben Jordan and my freeware stuff, I still don't feel like I'm a well established presence in the indie adventure game community to merit like going on my own and having to worry about the marketing and all that stuff. So
And you're saying that
I'm just,
after what, 6 games?
well, 3 commercial ones and I don't know, a few freeware ones. But like, I don't know, also I'm lazy. I don't really want
It's
to have
nice.
to worry
It's
about like
nice.
the
Yeah,
marketing.
it's nice not having to worry about or to do the things that you don't really enjoy doing, when there is the
Exactly.
option of someone else doing it for you, and probably they'll do a better job than you until you have the
Right.
experience of doing it yourself. Yeah.
And also like, my games have done okay, but like I definitely don't have the money lying around to fully fund my own game. Like like you guys are essentially like me, like, you're doing the art and the programming and everything essentially yourselves. Like I mean, your development costs are not like, someone who's just like, okay, well, I'm going to write it, but I need to source out the
Other
art
than our
and the
backgrounds,
music and
yeah,
everything.
pretty much there.
Right. Well, yeah. But like, so like to have a publisher to help me and provide a substantial budget for stuff like music and
Yeah,
voiceover
other people.
in my case is really helpful. So
Yeah. So you basically are you so you've been funded by
well,
your publisher, right?
funded implies that they're paying me to make the game, which is not the case. I've never
Well,
been
that's where my question was gonna come
right.
from. Like, so they gave you some money. I'm assuming, like, I'm gonna assume things
No.
now, that they gave you some money and that they, yes, I'm
No,
not
I'm
assuming
saying no, they
that
didn't.
they gave you some money.
I'm not saying no, you can't assume. I'm saying no, they didn't give me money.
All right. Because that, let me make my let me make my assumption now, even though it's wrong.
Okay.
I assumed before
Your
you said
assumption.
no.
What are you, Sean Connery now?
Assumption.
You're making your assumption now, Costa.
I will assume. I will assume. What's the fucking verb
Assume.
here? Anyway, I will assume that they gave you money and you didn't use any to pay yourself. You would just be paying people that work with you. That they, if they're not, it's not their game, so they need some money to survive and stuff. Which is what we have been doing, even though we don't have a publisher, but we have been funded. And me and Sarah have been like, oh, cool, money. We're gonna pay people with it, so they actually work for us. One of the issues we'd run into is that because we don't have any previous games to like base our salary on that, not salary, but get some funding out of that while we're making a game, is that we sort of had to like not do this full time, and we've been having to work into other part-time jobs in order to pay bills and stuff. So we're not fully funded as in like full-time developer funded. And our issue now is like, could we get some money from a publisher in order to sustain ourselves and speed things up? That was our thought.
I mean, that's certainly a possibility. Like I say, every deal is different. In my personal case, the way it's worked has been, so for a Golden Wake, I was already working on the game on my off time. I pitched the game to Wajidai and signed up to publish with them. And basically the services that they provided were marketing and voiceover and paying for the music. I didn't get any money to work on the game while I was working on the game. I lived off of my savings during the time that it took for me from when I decided, okay, I'm going to quit my job and make this game. And when the game came out, I got royalties from it. And then for Shardlight, it was going to be the same deal, except Ben Chandler was already working as the full-time artist for Wajidai. So we were trying to figure out how that was going to work financially, because if he was being paid a full-time salary to work on the game, because it was a, essentially a co-production between the two of us. So the question was, do I do the same thing and not get any money during production of Shardlight and wait till the end and get the royalties when the games come out? Or do I get hired as a full-time developer and get paid a salary to get paid for the game in exchange for getting royalties? So that's what we decided to do. So basically, I did get paid a salary, a fixed salary, throughout. Right. So I got hired as a full-time designer, and I got paid a salary every month for the development of Shardlight. But the trade-off was that I don't get any money from sales from Shardlight.
Huh.
So, right. So then after that, with Lamplight City, when I went with a new publisher, it was back to the same deal as before. So but with Application Systems, I asked them if it was possible, because I wasn't getting any income, and I had been working on the game for a lot longer, and I didn't have any money saved up, or I did have some, but I didn't have as much as before, that got me through a Golden Wake. So I was like, can I have, as part of the budget, a cost of living expense? So for the last 6 months of development, they essentially paid me an amount of money that we agreed on, that came out of the budget. And so I got that, and then I got obviously royalties once Lamplight City came out. And the same with Rosewater. I didn't ask for a cost of living expense because I've had the consistent income from Lamplight City, which has been carrying me all this time. But I was like, can we also set up an emergency fund just in case I find that I have no money? I'll essentially borrow against it, against the cost of. So let's say, for example, I was like, well, let's set up an emergency fund of $9,000, and whatever amount I take out of that, I am taking out of my share of royalties when the game comes out. So I haven't had to use it yet, and hopefully
it's a good plan.
But yeah, the idea is that say I took $4,000, then the first $4,000 I wouldn't get any royalties until the first $4,000 was recouped, essentially. So that's my very particular case. But yeah, I've never been fully paid aside from Shardlight, but that was because I was on a salary. But some publishers will, if you have a bigger team, like you say, they'll give you the money to pay your team members, in exchange for, the assumption is, I would assume, to use assumption a lot, because since you are the developer, you are the one that's going to be receiving the royalties. So if you're essentially contracting someone on your team to work on the game, then the idea is that their work is going to be compensated for the work they do while they're making the game, and then that's it. They don't get royalties.
Yeah.
Unless you set up a rev share agreement or something. But those are usually in the case of I'm not getting paid any money now, but I am entitled to a certain percent of the royalties for my work. So it was like getting an advance. Kind of. The cost of living expense was not expected to be paid back. That was factored into the budget. This emergency fund that we set up with Rosewater is an advance, in that it will, if I use it, it will be taken from the royalties. But yeah.
I'll be right back quickly.
Yeah. Another question I have is how come you must have thought of Kickstarter, right, at some point?
I have never wanted to do a Kickstarter, ever.
Is that because of the stress and planning you have to do? Or
it's a few things.
You don't like money, or?
Did you say I don't like money?
No, I'm saying it's one of the solutions basically for being self-funded and having money and having you already have a community, obviously. For us, it was important too, because it was proof of concept in a way, and building up a community.
Right.
Other
yeah,
than
I mean,
money stuff.
You obviously have the experience with Kickstarter, so you can tell me if I'm wrong in my assumptions on this. But basically, the things that have yes,
there's too many assumptions here.
Yes. Basically, the things that have prevented me from wanting to do a Kickstarter are, like you say, running the thing because it's a
Yes.
full-time job to run a Kickstarter.
For a month.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Actually,
yeah,
for more, but yeah.
yeah, and maintaining the community updates and all of that stuff.
But you're doing that already for like
Yeah,
with
but
newsletters and like.
it's really hard to, to muster up the ambition to do that. I'm just like, oh fuck, I have to do a newsletter now.
I'm like that, but you're already doing this. You're probably doing more updates than we do. Like it's
Yeah, but
funny.
I can. But see, the thing with like a newsletter that I'm just doing for fun is that, I mean, I can get away with just being
I'm
like,
doing
well,
that too.
not much happened this month. Bye. As, well, but don't people
I
get
think
mad if you do a Kickstarter update and it's
no.
just
You
like
know when they
nothing?
get mad if there's just nothing. If it's been months and months and
Right.
months and you don't say anything, and then they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" Because this
Right.
summer we posted. I'm sorry guys, the game's gonna be delayed. I have no idea how long for. We fucked up
Right.
sort of, and people like where everyone was super chill. They appreciated it a lot, and I was like, I was really touched because that was cool. How people were like, yeah, if you are open with us and you have communication, then it's great. Which, by the way, we haven't been updating for 6 months now, but we should get back to it. But I think that the worst, and for me as like a backer of games, is like when there's no communication at all.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and Deluxe says, but once it becomes a job, it starts to suck, which is true.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice though to have like us instead of a publisher to have as your boss to have basically people, the community and the backers. It feels like, for me at least, it feels like there's no way I'm not gonna be making this game or finishing it because I don't want to let down all these people. That's kind of cool.
Right.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I think my counter argument is like you're already doing all this job anyway. Why not just like be your own boss in a way when you do it?
I mean, I am my own boss.
Yeah,
just,
definitely.
you know.
I'm saying also you don't have to, like my fear with signing with a publisher, which I've never done, is having someone breathing over my neck right now.
Oh, yeah, I've never had that.
Oh, okay.
But I've been very lucky in that, you know, my publishers have both been very chill and not concerned about like, oh my god, like, you know, it's
Yeah.
that's the advantage too of like having publishers that have multiple games in the works is that, you know, you're not what they're depending on, so so they don't really care too much. But the main thing that I'm concerned about with Kickstarter is like my fear is always like, oh my god, I've worked on this game for X number of years and like it'll come out and no one will care about it and no one will buy it. And like what you were saying before about your Kickstarter backers being sales already, that's
Yeah.
my thing. So I'm like, what if I get, you know, 500 backers and that's it, and when the game comes out nobody buys it?
It's still our fear, but
Yeah, I
it's
mean that's my main fear.
it's a common fear in general though. But
Yeah.
but also think about it also as if you seek further funding after that and you need to go to publisher, you're like, look at this. This is a proof of market concept that people like this game because they
Right.
backed it and we got some money. So I can start the negotiations basically with like this, if you want. If you want to like take it further, I mean.
Right.
Not that I'm solving your problem if you're also going to publisher. But...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
But it's kind of nice though for I think for community building and building up your
Sure.
brand, I guess, essentially, which you definitely have a brand because you have so many like games
I
right
guess.
now.
I don't know.
It's
weird
kind of
to
a
me.
cool thing, I guess.
Yeah.
Like you would agree that Wajitai is kind of like you're part of this also. But you would agree, but they're the most
Kind of.
indie, I guess. I guess they're an indie game developer that you would say, oh yeah, they make adventure games. I don't know if anyone else is like that right now.
Yeah, I
Or,
mean,
like, their own series.
Dave has done a really good job of building up his brand for sure. Like, you know, I mean, I can understand why, like, you know, if you're making an adventure game and you've never made one before, like the appeal of Wajidai is the brand because it's like, you know, it's a well-established company and people know, okay, well, it's a Wajidai game, so I know what I'm getting because, like, I
Especially
think
as a consumer, because we know everyone as
Right.
developers, but you know.
Right. But then I feel like the danger in that is kind of like if you make a game that's kind of like not like the other games, you have the danger of like people being like, oh well, this isn't a Wadget, or like this, like I feel like Strangeland kind of got that a little bit because it was
Is Nighthawks their thing? Because they did a Kickstarter on that too.
yeah.
But
So
I don't know.
Nighthawks is Richard Cobbett's project, and I mean he's said this, and Dave has said this on record that essentially he just wanted the Wadjet brand on it, and yeah, it's a visual novel. So I'm curious to see like when it comes out, like how the more hardcore like I know Wadjet games is a point and click, like how are they gonna react to that? Because yeah, like you run the risk of like if you're known for a particular thing and then you try doing something different, you might get backlash. Like I know Dave is already getting backlash for his current project because it's high res and people are like, this isn't pixel art, like that's what Wadjet does, you know? So
Yeah, I mean, whatever is my answer to that, but
yeah, no,
I'm
mine
gonna
too.
be saying, where's my crunchy pixels?
But it's a very like real thing that happens, unfortunately. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, what I can say from personal experience too is that like one of the things I appreciate the most about application systems is how much effort they put into like taking the games to shows and
Yeah.
just like getting it out there.
I've seen them in
look at
Adventure X
that.
only. But
And speaking of which, I just got a DM from application systems.
are they saying what the
Sorry,
fuck
like,
are you talking
Stop
about
talking
us?
shit about us.
we heard that, Sam.
We
So,
heard it.
yeah. What was that emergency fund we were talking about?
Yeah, that's gone. We pulled the plug on that. Goodbye.
Oh, let's take out the fund and keep the emergency. Zim makes game says I don't like things that are different. Yep, pretty much.
That is the mantra of the consumer for sure.
But also, I must say, as a developer, though, it's not nice to be doing the same game over and over again.
Oh, no, I
Like,
agree.
not only creatively you're gonna get stuck, but also you want to do like I would like to do. I'm speaking now in the very far future, and I'm assuming Sarah agrees. I would like to make Theropods 2, but not right after Theropods 1.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause
Oh, no,
I
of
don't
course
want to do the same art style in Dinosaurs again. I have plenty to do right now.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if we were gonna be do. I don't even know what we're gonna be doing. We just agreed a shorter game, please. That was the only thing. And speaking of shorter games, we also like I planned this game, I planned the story, and like it's also almost impossible to cut down the story and the amount of work we have to do. We're in too deep, but I fully realized I fucked up on the scale. But now we have nothing to do but keep going. So it's kind of annoying. But yeah, you must know about planning something too big, right?
Yeah.
Not right
yeah,
now because you have experience, but maybe in the
Well,
beginning.
No, of course. Yeah, no, over scoping is like super easy to do. Even with Rosewater, like when I first was planning it, I had to cut it down because I was like, this is too much. I can't do this.
Yeah.
But yeah. By the way, in the chat, application systems, yeah, they've been around since 1985.
Oh, wow.
And application systems Heidelberg doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, so I've suggested to them, and they've taken into consideration that for like their games specifically, they should just call themselves Ash Games because it's So
Yeah.
we'll see. Maybe they'll rebrand.
Which sounds with reads better than it sounds, but yeah.
Yeah, Ash Games, not Ash Games. Hello, my name's Sean Connery, and I'd like you to play my Ash game.
Ash. I've been to Heidelberg and it's super pretty. That's all
Oh,
I have to
I have
contribute
not,
to that.
and I
It's
would
so
like
fucking
to.
amazing. It's like I went also in Christmas time.
Okay.
I think they call it like a German Christmas town because
Yeah.
in Christmas time it's fucking amazing too. And it was snowing. There was snow everywhere. It just felt like
Yeah,
transported back in time. Wasn't it like Mark Twain wrote
Oh,
some
maybe,
books
I don't
there or something?
But yeah, we have an open invitation to go, but obviously because of COVID, we haven't had the chance to. But yeah, no, I totally would love to do usually I piggyback a little trip somewhere after Adventure X. Maybe next year, if Adventure X happens, we can go to Heidelberg afterwards.
Yeah, I miss Adventure X too. I mean,
Mm.
like if you come to Europe, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I say a thing now that I have an American and sad in the thing? When like not sad, but our thing.
Time for
but
some
every time,
xenophobia.
no, but every time I see like a TV show or like a movie, and there's like some American family, it's like we're gonna go to Europe this year. It's like where the fuck in Europe do you mean? There's like
they do
Yugoslavia
that.
and there's like England. Like
They do that with
understand-
everything.
I'm gonna
It's like,
say
oh,
I understand if I said like I'm gonna go to the U.S. and you would be like, where the fuck, like Texas or like New Mexico or New York. There's so
no,
so many
they do
things.
the same thing. Like, oh, I went to South America, and it's like, yeah, where?
But Europe for me especially, it's like so many different like ways you can interpret that, and it
Yeah,
doesn't cover it by saying I went to Europe.
I went to Epcot Center, which you can go to, quote unquote, Europe if you go to Epcot Center.
Wait, what the fuck is that?
Oh, it's Epcot Center is one of the Disney parks in Florida. It stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow, and it's like their future education park. And the thing that they have there that's not boring is they have a bunch of different pavilions. Each one represents a country from all over the world, except they don't have every single country, obviously, because that would
I
be huge.
quote you: the thing that's not boring is that they have pavilions, and that's where you started losing me after that. Like, go on. Sorry.
Epcot is a pretty boring place. I have to be honest. I mean, you go to Disney World, you don't go to get educated, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. I went
Yeah,
to
especially if you're
France
a
when
kid.
I was a kid, and my parents took me to Disneyland. Anything else in France was boring to me. I
Yeah,
was
well,
like, France exists purely to have Disneyland in it. Was my thinking when I was.
well, they
young.
have a France pavilion where I think they have like a French bakery or something. That's the thing too. Like, there's only 2 good rides in all of the world communities, and one of them doesn't even exist anymore because the Norway one was really good. It was called Maelstrom, and you used to get into like a fake Viking longboat and like go through
Mm.
Norse mythology. But then they changed it into a Frozen ride. It's really depressing. And the other one is is the Mexico one, which is just a boat ride, and you go through like this nice little Mexico.
Mexico. I like how it's like Norse mythology, Mexico.
Yeah, those were the only
Like,
2
unless
rides.
it's Dia de los Muertos something, then it doesn't make much sense.
I think they have part of that in the Mexico ride. I don't know. I haven't been to
Okay.
Epcot in a really long time.
It's,
yeah.
it's been pretty dead then since then.
Yeah. They also have a Morocco
Dia
pavilion
de
that
los
just
Muertos.
smells of leather. Yeah, I get it. Very good.
Okay, cool.
Very good. That
You
was
sure?
very,
I can explain it again.
that was a very grim joke you made.
Some deadly silence as I said it. That's why. I like the exhalation from the nose more than the groan. To be as a connoisseur of like fun reactions. Deluxe Duck says Americans have this general idea of visiting Europe and kind of drifting around and hitting somehow London and Paris and Madrid all in one trip. Exactly. Epcot has decent food from what I recall, he says also.
The thing with Epcot now is that they serve beer, which they didn't used to do when I was a kid. So there's this whole challenge now of like drinking across the world, where you just like go and you refill your beer at every single pavilion. Which I don't know if Disney encourages that sort of thing, but definitely a thing that people do.
Speaking of
Oh yeah,
really?
the Canada pavilion has a terrible cheesy song.
Jim makes games. Speaking of releasing your first game, says if no one buys your first game, no one complains about the second one being different. That's a good point.
Oh,
Which hits too close to home on his game developer experience from what he was saying.
But in the second game, you can always say, "Hey, I also made this game," and then piggyback. That's the good thing about the long tail, especially with adventure games.
Can I say I love Jim's approach to like not doing well in his first game, but keep working on it. So that's the positive way of looking into it.
No, absolutely, absolutely. You can't get discouraged. Like, it's amazing how many people, and not just adventure game developers, but like indie developers, like they either their first game comes out and like it either tanks and they don't do it again, or it does really well and then they don't do it again.
Yeah, I've done the same with my movie short career, which was basically I got fucked over by distributors. I signed a contract that fucked me over. Game didn't do good, and I got discouraged. And now everything I got from that, I'm learning to incorporate into the games, which is I see so many similarities with contracts and like
oh, absolutely,
bad marketing and flopping, and I'm like, at least that worked for me, so I can use it here. But so it's interesting to like cross through industries, but take the failing from something.
Yeah, you gotta fail forward, as they say.
Yeah. Or they also say, what is it? Pixar says like fail fast, which is another concept, which is like basically fail as fast as possible so you can get it over with and keep working on it.
Yeah.
Hello, Mary.
Hello, Mary.
2121.
We're saying hello for the first time after we're about to go offline as well. So.
There was something
Oh,
else that
wow.
you were talking about that I was gonna chime in about, but I forgot what it was.
Probably some of my puns.
No. It was you were talking about publishers, and then you were talking about something else, and I just remember that
That
Sarah did like the little
narrows it down.
sad flat face emoji while you were talking. Let me scroll up in the chat.
Ah.
Oh wait, no, I can't because I didn't join the. I joined the chat on my
Ah,
PC. So
I can. It had a sad, flat face.
Yeah.
My sad
From
face was
home.
just about being. Dave also scared for Sarah's safety based on the number of pun people now on stream. I almost said Sarah there, reading out my name.
no, it was before that.
Before
It
that.
was before that. Around I forget.
Sarah, what is its frame rate there? What are you doing?
I put it down to 1 frame so that to export it.
No. I Sarah, can I ask Francisco about? I mean, I want to ask as vaguely as possible about the current situation we're dealing with,
If
which is
it's
basically the
touchy,
form
we
of
can
a
talk
business
about it
that
off
we're
stream.
talking to.
It doesn't have to be in
I guess.
public. We can talk in private. That's when all the juicy stuff comes out. Ew, that sounds gross.
So
I'm
we're-
sorry. I said that.
I mean, unless we're talking about pulp and like orange juices. Then
Yeah. Oh man,
we're-
this is how you know you're old. I got really excited because we got a juicer the other day. I don't mean like a fancy one. I just mean like one of those ones that you cut
I was
the citrus in half and you just rub it on the or like
Wait.
squeeze it by rubbing on
Mm-hmm.
the thing, and I'm like, oh boy, I can make my
Yeah.
own orange juice now.
Hey, I was more lame than that. I was happy with I got a vacuum
Oh,
cleaner.
vacuum
I was
cleaners
like,
are
wow,
great.
finally. Yeah, I know. I got it, and I was like, yeah, I feel like a human now, like an adult, and I was like, why am I happy about this? This should suck. I wasn't building this up, but there was a bit of a vacuum there for me to.
Just gets worse and worse. Yeah, Costas, maybe talk about it off stream since we recently signed
Okay.
an NDA. Was it an NDA?
Gonna
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
too
no, we
juicy
did. We
for
did.
people.
Well, if you signed an NDA,
Yeah, but I
you
can talk
always
about
make
what kind
a
of business it is. I can
NDA.
talk numbers, but
Right.
Might be safer just to, off stream, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, good thing, Sarah, that you're talking about the plan to talk about an offline about an NDA since we're online being recorded.
I haven't given any info.
What are you talking about? That's completely
It's okay.
a
Because
joke.
we're not recorded, we're gonna give everything away. We're gonna get this juicy stuff as someone.
Words just evaporate into the ether. It's fine. No one.
We're gonna get to the
remembers.
juicy pulpy stuff as someone said earlier.
Juicy pulpy.
Yeah. Yeah, friend DA. That's totally an industry term. You've never heard it before? Deluxe Tux? No, don't
Yeah, it's
tweet
funny.
it.
I asked my sister recently, and because she works like at a big company of whatever they do, and I was like, "Can I show you an NDA?" And she was like, "What's an NDA? I've only seen them in movies." I was like, "Oh, it's probably." So then it clicked that it's probably only for artistic stuff. I don't know.
Nah, it's
no?
for lots of things. I mean, it's for legal stuff
Yeah.
too. Like, if you're involved in like
I mean-
court case or something,
Oh,
like,
okay.
they make you sign an NDA so you don't talk about that sort of thing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Should we F off?
Yeah, let's wrap things up on stream and then you can chat. You can chat about the stuff that you probably shouldn't chat about on stream.
All right, I'm gonna mute myself because I got sent a video to watch, so I'll watch that and then I'll come back after
Okay.
you guys are
Alrighty.
offline. But bye, stream. Thanks for listening to me talk about crap. Bye.
Right. Okay. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. What's the day today?
Yeah.
Monday. Yeah, we will be
Monday.
back on Thursday. Should be back
Yeah.
on Thursday as usual.
Yeah.
I might not rate.
I didn't do any single animation, but I finished all the backers.
No, you did designs.
Yeah,
I
look,
I fixed.
What do you think of the right guy? Only his face I had to. Fix.
Yeah, like how he's
I don't
like
know how
puffed
you're
his
gonna
chest
do
out
it.
and is standing.
I don't know how you're gonna do him, but yeah.
We'll see. I might not raid anybody just because I closed my Chrome, so that it wouldn't lag, but still lagged anyways.
Oh.
And if I
Chrome
open it,
wasn't built in a day.
if I oh my god, if I open it, it's gonna like kill kill stream probably. Okay, so yeah,
I'm
we're gonna
killing it.
bye guys and see you on Thursday.
We're gonna buy, guys.
We're gonna bye guys. Bye everyone. Bye. You can raid via chat commands. Who do I raid? How do you raid? I won't be able to join the raid though, but
Hey, Metaki's still in. I don't know who else is on.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it for now because I should probably head off. But
Okay, bye everyone.
we shall raid now. I don't know who to raid or their name. Okay, we're gonna go for now. Okay, bye guys. Next time I shall raid, even if it's by
Bye.
chat. Bye.